All right, well, let's get started with episode 287 of the Current Gen podcast. My name is Tim. Dan is here. Kyle is here. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
A little
Good
fancy.
evening.
We're a little fancy this week. I don't know why.
Good evening. Yeah, I didn't get my monocle and top hat, but you
Oh,
give me
I mean,
the
I got
word. And
mine.
I
Do you
know.
need-
I was gonna say I know Dan's got his too. We can figure this out.
It's true. Guys, we are
Huh?
officially 2/3 of the way through the year 2025 because we are
Gross.
wrapping up August and we are down to
Feels like an
4 months
eternity.
left. Yeah, it's been one.
Yeah.
It's been one. Hey, on the gaming side though, it's been a great one. So I am looking forward
Sure,
to
yeah.
continuing
Yeah.
to look back as we get closer and closer to year end and game awards, and there's still some absolute bangers that are on the way over the next several months that I'm very excited about. So gaming wise, which is why we're here, only good things. No one got laid off. No studios were closed. No
Is that
games
true?
were a disappointment. So it's been a good.
Is
Been a
that
really good-
true?
No,
Oh, you mean for the whole year? I was like,
Are you
this week,
sure?
Did we get through a week? Yeah.
oh, that's so bad.
Feels
There
like
actually
every
there
week.
actually were layoffs this week. So I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say I think there have been
Yeah.
every week
There
because
were-
we
yeah.
talk about it in chat every freaking week.
Yeah,
It feels
there
like
definitely
so.
were. But overall, it's been a really, really fun year of games, and this week is no exception. There's been several really cool games
a
that
big one.
launched to close out this month. So this is a pretty big month, and then maybe even, as we usually do, a couple that you don't know about that we can highlight that you can add to that list to your backlog, like I do. So that way I'm not alone. You know what? That's what it is. It's because I feel guilty and alone with how many games I buy and don't play. So I want to show them to you guys, so you also buy them and don't play
Toxic
them.
friend.
So you're trying to drag us down
Toxic.
with you.
Yes.
Extremely toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The difference is I admit it. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But we got to start for we teased it last week. It's the main thing that launched. It's something we've been looking forward to for a long time. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I don't know why it doesn't say 3. I don't know what Delta means. Maybe Kyle can explain it to us because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, don't throw it to me. I have no idea what it
I'm
means.
pretty sure he is finished or close to finishing this game, but we'll get into that. We got a few others too that we'll dive into that launched this week. But as we normally do, I'm going to pull up just some video to play. I think this is from the IGN review, this one. So don't hold me accountable for any spoilers that might be in this review footage. I think IGN
It's
and
also
GameSpot
a
do a pretty good job.
15-year-old game. If you haven't played it,
Okay,
you're,
good.
you know.
Exactly. Yes. Totally agree. Okay, so we're on the same page. But Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is out. I know for sure, of course, Kyle, you got it. Dan, did you get this one too?
Tim, I'm gonna need you to say Metal Gear the right way every time.
I can't.
Every time you say
Can't.
Metal
My
Gear,
throat's
you
gonna
say,
start hurting if I try to do it every time.
Metal Gear.
Yeah.
I heard David
Yeah,
Hayter has to
like-
smoke 3 packs of cigarettes before he can get in the booth as Snake. So.
I mean, it's worth it. It
That's not
sounds
true.
fantastic. But yes,
I totally made that up. Yeah.
I did pick it up. Yeah, which I have a GameStop story, which I told you guys. So, but we'll get
Let's
to that.
do the game
but I am
thoughts
playing.
first, and then we're gonna pivot
Yeah.
into the GameStop corner with Dan because I am really intrigued to hear another episode. of
We
this
had
saga.
a positive GameStop story earlier in the year with me and getting
right.
my Switch 2. It's
That's
time
right.
to take them down a peg or two. We can't
right.
let them
Sure.
have that win forever.
That's right.
They're already
Totally.
doing that themselves, Kyle. So
Well,
How are
we're
they
out here
still
just-
around, by the way? Well, whatever. Okay.
I don't know, dude.
Um,
I said the dumbest thing the other day. My buddy, he collects Pokemon cards, and I was like, "Hey, if you go to GameStop, you can get that graded." He goes, "GameStop still open?" I go, "I think grading cards is all they do now." Because like, what else would be keeping them open? Like,
Who knows? Who knows? Dumb luck, I guess. But anyway, Kyle, let's start with you. You've been able to put a good amount of time into this game. We've talked a lot this year, even
I
about
beat this-
Kojima
I beat this
games
game.
and about Metal Gear Solid 3 and where that stands in the hierarchy for some folks. It's my personal favorite of the ones that I've played, of the Metal Gear Solid games that I've played. And I think, if I remember correctly, Kyle, you have said it's objectively probably the best of the series, but 2 is your
Yeah.
favorite. Is that accurate?
Yeah, two or four kind of switches depending on the day, but yeah, two usually.
But usually you say like, I understand, like 3,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
it.
but here's the thing though, like it may not be my favorite Metal Gear Solid game. It's still like my second favorite game of all time. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
crazy.
it's like
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 2, then 3.
Yeah.
Like so.
That's
So
wild.
yeah, like when I say it's not my favorite, like it's still like it's still not even objectively probably the best in the series. It's still one of my favorite games of all time. I think,
Okay.
and again, as I was saying, because I did beat this game, this ending is one of my favorite video game endings ever. Like,
Yeah.
period. Top five for sure. You know, maybe even in the top 2 or 3. And it ending still hits like a freight train. Like, it's still good. And I will say about this, they did nothing to change this game. So like
That's what I've
everything
heard.
is in it, controversial stuff and all. Like, you know, in terms of things that aged poorly and stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
Ava's open chest and yada yada, and pressing R1 to stare
Right.
at it during scenes. They just didn't remove any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it even has like a little, you know, thing at the beginning where it's just like, hey, this game came from a different time. Don't get mad.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's great. I think that they changed so little, even with it. Like, I'm gonna say this in a term where I just don't understand. I don't know what I'm talking about. But like they sent like, you know, Elder Scrolls Oblivion like through Unreal 5, and it's just like Unreal 5 is just kind of running on top of the old code.
Right.
That's what's happening here as well. So it's like sometimes you'll see old PS2 animations with the Unreal 5 engine like on
Weird.
top of it, and
Yeah.
there is a juxtaposition there or
Yeah.
whatever. For me, it reminds me of the old codes in there, and I go, huh, kind of feels
Feels
nice
good,
and safe or
actually.
whatever. Yeah. But like it also is kind of distracting sometimes
Yeah.
as well.
By the way, as I'm watching this and I see the little percentage of your camo at the bottom, such good
Yeah.
memories of that, like trying to get the right
Oh yeah.
camo combos and stuff like that. I love that.
My favorite thing about that too is that like the paint, since we're not in a PS2 game anymore, it looks like paint on his face. Like it's caked
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
thicker in some
Yeah.
areas than others. Whereas like on the PS2 it's just like, you know, coloring on his face, you know. There's no
Yeah.
3D-ness or texture to it whatsoever. There's a lot of texture to this game. And it's just the graphics are great. I mean, I am not gonna be bah humbug about like I think I do kind of like the artistic aesthetic of the original a little better
Mm.
still. You know,
Yeah.
there's something to it. There's like even a graininess and a kind of a filter, like a color
Yeah.
filter, like over it. If you look at side by sides, like you'll understand what I'm saying about the
Yeah,
kind of
it
color
does have a
filter of the old one.
60s feel to it a little bit.
Yes, but I don't know if that means I prefer that more than this. I'm sorry that I like it more than this or whatever. I have a nostalgia for that look. You know what I
Totally get
mean?
it.
But like this is like it looks fantastic. It looks so good.
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful looking video game. There are moments like the chase sequence at the end with the Shagohod that like looks so much better now than it ever did on PS2 that it's like even in my memory where your memory like preserves things in a more pristine way and exacerbates it, you know, where we, you know, like it looked better than that to me, you know. So I really appreciated just like how the fidelity of the graphics and everything like that. So maybe it kind of lost some of that charm in terms of like it's like artistic, you know, kind of leanings, kind of the original, where again it kind of looked like half anime, half realistic, you know, like there was just like there
Mm.
was a look to it, you know. Whereas this is like
Mhm.
full blown,
Yeah.
they're trying to go for photorealism.
Right.
Not like 5, like, you know, like 5 was looked like that as well, you know.
Mhm.
And 5's a good looking game, so this is a great game, man. There's a lot of cool stuff that they did. Like the camo index is easy to get to, curing is easy to get to. Everything's just kind of a button press away. The updated controls are really good. I was screwing up a lot because my
Sorry,
muscle
I'm just laughing
memory.
at that little
I
slice that
saw
killed that goat.
yeah.
It's just like
Yeah, that's
that
right.
was
I
it.
literally did that like last night. I killed that goat.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it is good. But my muscle memory just wanted. I press circle to hit, and like that's not the hit button anymore, or CQC
Yeah.
button. Now
Oh.
everything's on the shoulders, you know, and it feels better. My memories just wanted
Yeah,
to
because
take
you've
over
played
a
this
little
game
too
no less
often.
than 100 times, I think. Something like
A
that.
thousand times.
A
I don't
thousand
know.
times.
Yeah,
Right.
who's the count?
Right.
And yeah, I mean, this game's like 12 hours long. It's not long, you know, it's easy to get through. You know, especially if you've been through it a lot. They didn't change anything. You just have a better camera control. It's easier to shoot, so boss fights are a little easier. I think, you know, they didn't change anything other than like the way that the cameras and the gun feels and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe make the game a little easier, but doesn't make it any less enjoyable to me. And this
Yeah.
might be the definitive version now. I was saying in chat that like there is some Unreal 5 like stutteriness, you know, like
Yeah.
there's like that might get fixed like in updates and stuff like that. I even think it
Yeah.
already had like a patch on PC and PlayStation 5. I had an update last night. I don't know what it fixed, but like I think they're on their way to kind of making it better. But like again, and not to like be too fanboy about it, Kojima would never let this happen. Like he releases
no.
games and they come out and they're perfect and they're never too framey. Like Death Stranding can get a little framey sometimes because there's so much going on. 5, I remember, could do the same because there was just so much going on. But like it just there was a better product there in terms of just like development and stuff.
Right.
And I know that a lot of developers are having a hard time with Unreal 5 right now, but that's a conversation for a different day. But I think this game is really well done. I'm done really talking about it. I could talk about it forever. I want to hear kind of again.
I mean,
hop into
it
for a
is
bit,
Metal Gear, so
What is it, Dan?
Yeah.
this is your Final Fantasy, Kyle.
What is
Dan,
it?
what is it? What is it?
Sorry, Metal Gear.
Okay, good.
There it is.
We're staying consistent.
So yeah, I think this is off of the Subsistence edition, right? Because there was the Metal Gear Solid 3 when it first came out, and then there was Subsistence. So that's what this is based off of, right?
I think so.
Because there's even the option in the menu, like when you start it, like it tells you can do, what is it, legacy mode?
Legacy mode, yeah. But you do get a trophy
and then
for
whatever.
if you're on PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
If you're starting up in legacy mode, you will get a trophy for that. Yeah. So if you are a diehard guy like me, and I want to play like it used to, yes, there is that mode. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so you can make it more, or like, I think modern mode, I forget what the word they use is, but there's basically like the cameras behind you, or there's the one that's kind of like the sort of top down, like at an angle, which is what it originally was. So
right.
But yeah, I'm not super far. I literally just got to the point where it asks you to save because you do the whole like, you're trying to rescue what's his face,
Sokolov. So you just finished the Virtuous
Sokolov,
mission.
thank you. Yeah.
After the bridge.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like an hour and a half, an hour 45 minutes in with like an hour of cutscenes, maybe an hour 15 of cutscenes.
There's a lot. There's a lot of
about like 20,
like
30 minutes of gameplay there. Yeah.
Like I know Kojima's thing, like that's his thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I knew because I got it Thursday. I got the game Thursday.
Hold on, real quick. This is the ladder. They did not shorten this at all. Just as another example.
I remember that, and I remember like, what is happening? It's like
the ladder was long in the original.
Yeah.
I think on purpose, but also because it was maybe hiding a loading screen, But they didn't. I've seen a side by side. It's the same length. I'm so sorry. It was on screen.
That's so funny.
No, I mean that scene is like that's the thing. Like is like iconic. It's iconic, right? But he's just climbing a ladder. But the music swells in like.
As a joke, people call it the hardest boss fight in the game. It's called the ladder because everything's called like the sorrow, the pain, the joy. That's the ladder.
Yeah,
and the ladder, it's just it's epic, dude. Like the song kicks in, you have to press up. It's a lot,
Yep.
Actually, I just remembered it. Just a quick aside, really cool. So, I was watching Tim. I don't know if you remember me mentioning Fox Plays Official, the streamer that I hang out with sometimes in the morning. Yeah. He was playing the original version, or he was playing the Volume 1 collection, but he was playing Metal Gear Solid 3 like a couple months ago. And guess who popped into the chat? None other than the woman who sung that song, Kyle.
No, get out of here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She popped into the chat. Like apparently she likes to just pop on Twitch sometimes, and like when people are playing Metal Gear Solid 3, she like hangs out a little bit.
I would have fanboyed out so hard.
That's so cool.
So that was like pretty cool. I was like, oh wow, okay.
That's amazing.
Like that was pretty rad. So yeah, just a fun little quick aside there.
I guess that's the only thing they did change was the title song. Is that it's the same song, it's just a different version of it. Same lady singing it. She's just singing it a little differently, And I don't like it better or worse. I like it just as much. I think it's a great version. But all the music is totally unchanged. They didn't change anything. It was as faithful as a remake could get.
I do respect that they did try to keep, obviously like for a long time, and I mean maybe even still, fuck Konami, but like at the same time it's kind of like we're in like this weird place where it's kind of like, but then they're doing stuff like this, and it's like you're tugging at my heartstrings.
Some really cool collections, man. Like
they've been doing some stuff, It's like it's kind of a weird
I'm a Metal Gear Solid fan.
'cause
I don't have to be a Konami fan, even though I don't have a lot of big feelings about it. Like, I just and when you do something like this, where it's just like we didn't change anything, we kept his name in the credits, we maybe added original story instead of story in the credits or whatever. Like I like all that, and I just they could have gone out of their way to change. They didn't even they added voice acting in other modes, like bonus modes. But there's like no new scenes or no new, like it is just the game that you play, just with better graphics, and I don't know, I respect that a lot. I think that that's great, know. And if like two's on the menu and you want to make one this way, which would take a lot of work, I think, like I think that there's room for that, you want to just give me 4 in any capacity, that'd be great. But like I feel like
Volume 2, Kyle. Volume 2.
I would much rather these games come out than like, they said something really crazy recently where it's like we're letting a new generation like take over Metal Gear Solid, so any new games will be made by a new generation. And I'm just like, that's great. Like maybe one day we take a crack at that, but like I don't know, man. Like, is it the same without Kojima?
Kind of just want these. Yeah.
I just kind of like these, and maybe we just like leave them the way that they are. I don't know, but maybe someone could take a crack at it and do well. I don't know, but like I just, the old man in me just goes to, just keep playing the hits.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really, because again, I'm still early on, so I don't have too much. But I mean, I played this game several times back in the day. I'm similar to Kyle. 2 is my favorite. But I like get what you're saying with the like objectively, like this game, just like the balance of it and like what it's got going on mechanically. Yeah,
there's a coherent nature to it that's missing in other Metal Gear Solid. Maybe 1's pretty coherent as well. But
2 is just so awesome, though.
This is a really easy story to follow. My mentor betrayed me. I need to kill her. It's very Heart of Darkness. Or Apocalypse Now, or it's very of that story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's simple. It's simple to grab onto. Like 2's like got AI and like there's so much crazy nut. Everything's a simulation of Shadow Moses. I know, same here. Yeah, dude, I could talk about it all day and its relevancy to today.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if I replayed it because I have not played that one in a couple of decades. I wonder if because you guys are still so familiar with it. I think you've both played it somewhat more recently than.
I
started up too, but I haven't actually gotten into it.
Curious to see. I bet you there'd be things I'd be like, holy crap.
It's so absolutely relevant today in a way that, exactly. Like he was talking about all the stuff that's happening right now 20 years ago. I think
also,
if people
like
played the tape,
villains, I'm like, that's a politician who exists today. Like that is exactly. Wow. Okay.
I mean, literally the end of this game is relevant today. Like, so this game takes place in the 60s.
Oh yeah, 3.
And it's like you get to the end and you're like, oh, but like, okay, that's effed. That's just sure. Because that's the world we live in, And
this one's a good story, and I don't know. I still have a lot of feelings about when people are like, "Well, where should I start?" And like, I don't know, man. I'm the wrong person to ask, Like when you're a big fan, like you become kind of a purist and you become blinded to like what is actually the right way to like.
I think playing on release it makes sense.
I do too. I think that's
made,
like,
you know what I mean?
Like that's how he made them, So like maybe play them in the way that the creator make them. But like I don't know. Like if you are a Jeffrey out there, and like maybe you've always wanted to get into like Metal Gear Solid and like didn't know where to start, like you could play this game. Maybe you wouldn't get all the subtext about what's going on. Like maybe you'd be missing a couple things. Like why do they keep talking about the philosophers and like the Lalelule? Like I don't understand any of this. But like you will get the main story is very digestible.
Yeah. And the main relationships and the twists and turns.
Yeah. And like maybe you're like, who's this goober ocelot? Like you don't understand that he grows up to be the coolest bad guy ever, and he's such a goober in this game. But people forget about that. Like I know by the end of it, like again, spoilers or whatever, like he's like double, triple, quadruple crossing everybody, but like he's such a goober in this video game. Like
very fickle.
So maybe you just
Liquid was a goober too. Yeah.
They're all goobers, dude. Yeah, there's a lot of goobers in this.
Brother!
Metal Goober Solid. Yep, I get it.
Metal Goober Solid.
I get it. By the way, and I do want to hear the GameStop story, Dan. So let's do that next. But I just wanted to... I was just looking up as you guys were talking about Konami, and so as of like 3 years ago, and then for the previous, whatever it was, 7 years, they put out very little that I thought was great, worthwhile. That's when we were making fun of them for being like pachinko machines. That's all they care about. And because it's been a while, like since Metal Gear Solid 5, it's been mostly there's been some collections that are kind of cool, some arcade collections. They put out a Contra game that I know didn't get great reviews. I don't know if you guys remember that one. And then a bunch of just a couple soccer games, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever, like little things that.
And their FES series used to be like a world favorite, right? And then they just kind of stepped away from it for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, starting last year, we all of a sudden started to get some really cool stuff, like the Dominus collection from Castlevania. We got the
Very cool.
Silent Hill 2. Now I know that they just published it. I get it. But the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah.
And this year we've gotten the Suikoden 1 and 2 remakes or remasters. We've gotten this Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, and now we've got Silent Hill F on the way. So it's like, all right, they're still, I think, the kind of company that, at least me on the outside looking in, I think you guys probably are bigger fans of some of their stuff than I am. But I'm like, they're a little bit out of the doghouse now. Like, they can come sleep on the couch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they're
watch your
almost back.
tone, but yeah,
Yes,
you can
yeah.
come inside.
Yeah, watch
Be
your tone.
respectful still, okay? Ask permission to use stuff. But
Take your shoes off
Yeah,
before
take
you
your
come
shoes-
in.
You're
Come on,
still
for
a
the love of
guest,
God, take your
you
shoes
know,
off.
you're not family yet, you
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
But
yeah.
isn't that it's interesting to see like the cycles with this stuff? Like,
Yeah.
I remember there was a period of
Capcom-
time where I thought Capcom was kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know about
Yeah.
Capcom
Capcom
anymore.
went through a very
Yeah.
similar like
Yeah.
renaissance where it's like they weren't
PS3
putting out a lot.
360 era.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Things were not hitting. You know,
Mhm.
Resident Evil had a couple of underperforming games in a row, and
Yeah.
and then suddenly they just started making a bunch of money, like
Yeah.
by producing hits. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't like a surprise. There's
Oh, they made
obviously
good games and then they did better.
Yeah,
Interesting.
really. Yeah.
Shocking.
And they still give like time to like create, like give money to like stuff like Dragon's Dogma 2, which that creator, did you see last week? He was like, I try to make a game that
Yeah.
like no one would like. Which I was like, that's a weird philosophy, but like he was like, so like even if that was part of his pitch, like Capcom's like, we're gonna let you make this like thing. Like they still take chances, I guess is what I'm trying to say in a long-winded way. They're still like giving opportunities to make weird games while playing the hits as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty into their trajectory right now. If Konami's on a similar path, then great.
Right.
Just don't make new Metal Gear Solids. I think that
They're going to,
I
though.
think it's a really good way to like rob yourself of like goodwill.
They're going to. They're going to make MGS6. We just have to mentally
Yeah.
prepare ourselves.
If you want to make
for it.
MGS6 and we all get to play as Johnny, I'm in. I'm in. And if y'all don't know what that is, that's okay.
I don't.
It's okay. We can move on.
I don't know what
You'll know eventually. You'll know eventually.
Oh, okay. But Dan, I know that you have had some ups and downs with the corporation that is known as GameStop. Sounds like
Yeah.
this is
I
the
mean,
second negative in a row, right? Wasn't there one earlier this year as well with you?
Well, I would say the first negative was me working for them and, just dealing with that
And
shit.
Dan
So-
both
That's-
worked for them. at
this
some
was
point in
a long time
yeah.
ago.
Right.
I managed a
Um,
store like 15 years ago and
Mhm.
hated it.
There you go. But yeah, so I'm pretty much done with them, and not even actually even of my own accord technically, because so there was a GameStop in my town where I live, and they shut it down earlier this year. I was like, well, that really sucks, but I know they've been doing that. So then they moved the pre-orders to another one that was like a half hour away, which not great, but like okay,
Yeah.
it's half hours, not the worst. And then that one shut down pretty quickly after.
Ah,
Well,
So there's basically no GameStops near me.
Uh-oh.
Like I would say the one that I went to tried to pick up my copy is an hour away.
that's too far.
that is too far.
Yeah, but I was like,
confirmed.
so that's just where that's where the pre-order went. I was gonna like just be like, all right, screw it, like I'll just go pick it up, and then like I just don't go to GameStop stores. It's fine. I called a couple hours beforehand. I was like, you guys got my pre-order, right? Like, I just wanted to make sure. Like, I know I called the other day, but I'm just making sure. I'm going to drive down there. And they're like, yeah, we got it. Like, it's here. I was like, cool.
Boy.
I drive there. And literally, it must have been within like just a couple minutes window. I drive there, and I'm like jumping into a middle of a conversation that these three people who are trying to buy like an Xbox with the guy at the register, and I wasn't like picking up exactly what was going on, but essentially there was a company wide like their systems just malfunctioned, and
Oh,
I
boy.
guess when these three people were trying to buy the Xbox, they swiped their card. It took the money, but it like didn't take the money. Like I don't even really totally get what was going on, but basically like he couldn't give them the Xbox because like of the snafu going on with them swiping their card. Like, so like the transactions couldn't work. I drove all the way down there. Within a couple of minutes, their systems shit the bed. And
Wow.
I was like, so I can't pick up my game. Like, so I drove an hour
So-
there. And like the timing of that's what infuriates me the most.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it is not their fault technically, but it's like, you know, so.
That's so
Needless to
annoying.
say, later on in the day, my wife was like, you know what, let's just go to Best Buy. And I went into Best Buy. They didn't have it. I got it from Target. That's what it was. I got it from Target. But yeah, I'm done. I'm done with GameStop. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I'm just done. Because, like, the thing is
Too
like,
far.
this happened.
That's too far. Especially if you could just get it from a Best Buy
Yeah.
or a Target, like, that's too far to drive to a GameStop.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But really the issue is because their systems are old. Like, they still, like, are running their UI off of, like, 20-plus-year-old Dell.
It might be the
like,
same
desktop.
UI
It's
you and
like,
I used when we worked at it.
yeah, right. Like, it's just a joke, and it's like, no wonder you're all like, at one point on the app, the GameStop app, you could see how much money you put down on your pre-orders. I remember doing that and being like, okay, like, that's cool, I can see. And then they just, like, took that feature away and never reinstalled it. Like, it was like, okay, so that doesn't make sense. Your systems could do this before, and now they can't. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So yeah.
Dude.
I'm done. I'm just done.
Sorry, GameStop.
I'm totally with you.
Are you,
on
though?
that decision?
Are you the?
I am.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't shop at GameStop. I don't think
just,
I've been inside a
I don't
GameStop or
either.
purchased from GameStop probably in several years now. I tried to get a PS5 from them when we were all struggling to get one, and I was in
Yeah.
line. I think I told the story on the podcast probably a couple years ago when they launched. But I was in line, and the tickets that they were handing out ran out 2 people in front of me, kind of a thing. After sitting there and
Oh,
waiting,
fun.
yeah. So that's the closest I've gotten to shopping there in a long time.
Switch 2 was the
Sure.
last time I went there, and the time before that was when the Switch 1 came out. So, like, it's not my go-to place. I don't really like their whole everything. I don't like the way they run anything.
Well, like, the one that was in my town wasn't bad. Like, they weren't like they weren't super pushy. So, like, I didn't mind them, and that's just like, it was close, and I would just go there because I still like physically buying it. Yeah.
If I have to tell you no for like one thing 3 times, like, you're doing it wrong. And like, we work there, so like, I understand, I empathize with them, because like, I know how hard they push them to do that. Like, we got to get pre-orders, and we got to get attachments. Everything's got to be a multi, unit, purchase or whatever. And I get it. It's not their fault or whatever. But like, hey, if you work at GameStop, guys, they don't pay you enough. Go get a better job somewhere else. Like, they're out there. I promise you. Like, if you're in the, if you're young and retail is kind of like what you're after right now, like, just go work anywhere else. That place sucks, and they make you do weird stuff and uncomfortable stuff. And
it's just,
I don't like it.
It's crazy to me after all these years, like, these overpaid assholes at the top just don't understand that people don't want to go into a store and be bombarded with a million questions. Like, I just don't get how they can't wrap their head around that. Like, there's an easier way to do it. Like, first of all, update your systems, and then have there just be like on the touchpad, like, oh, hey, do you want to do the thing? And you just hit no. And like, then there isn't even the need to be asking. It's just, if the person wants it, they can hit yes. And if they don't, then you hit no. That's an easy way to alleviate that. Look at that. I don't even have business sense, and I just made up a great idea for you. So you don't annoy the shit out of every human being, because that one's free. But they don't do that because they're annoying and dumb. So, and we know that firsthand, Kyle, because we work there. So.
It was the worst. I hated it so much.
You guys have the inside scoop on that.
Being an introvert and trying to be like, are you sure you don't want to pre-order Gears of War? And like, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have a metaphorical gun pointed at my head. I have to ask you.
Yeah. So. If you don't do this, they're going to shoot me out back.
We laugh, but it's true. So basically, needless to say, I will be picking up my Hell Is Us pre-order at Best Buy. So
there it is.
Another store that is just thriving and a great place to go shopping. Just walk.
I know that one's probably going to close soon too.
These brick and mortar stores are just where like hopes and dreams and souls get crushed. That's all they are now.
That's funny. I was just in the mall yesterday. We took. For our daughter's birthday, malls now have a lot of like those stand-up local businesses that will do like boxing training or like a kids play place that you can like. It's really weird if you go into a mall. There's the chain stores are disappearing. It's very odd. I fully expect to see like a horde of zombies down one of these empty hallways as I'm going in a mall. Like, yeah, I just expect to see.
It's almost October.
It is. It's almost that
That's
time.
true.
But so my oldest daughter and I, while the two younger ones are playing, my wife's listening to an audiobook while they're just playing in this crazy play place, getting all the energy out. So my daughter, she's in middle school. She and I decided to just walk the mall and see what we could find. And we did find, I couldn't find any gaming stores. There's like no GameStop anymore. There's nothing. But there was a really cool, and I think this is where these kind of stores can still thrive, even though you can get most of it online still, of course, is these collectible shops, whether it's like hard to find comic books or figures or decorations around very specific IP. I mean, yes, you can go buy this stuff on Amazon or Etsy or eBay. Yeah, you can.
A lot of this stuff that you're talking about might be out of print though, and they might be hard to even get online.
Yeah,
You know,
it
stuff
was a
like
pretty
this
cool
is,
store. We spent a lot of time in there. Like there was some really fun stuff in there.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So those kinds of brick and mortar stores, I think, still have a value. And there's actually a lot of foot traffic in there too. A lot of people were walking around looking at stuff in there. But,
Yeah, I went into one similar the other day like that, but it was like more game centric. Like, but they had like figures, like old like 80s like wrestler figures in there. Like there was just like a bunch of old stuff, and I was just like, I literally feel like a kid in here. Like it was a super awesome store.
I love that stuff.
I used to have a really cool like comic book shop down the road that was just this. Like it was like Magic the Gathering, you know, like collectibles and statues and like retro video games. And at that time was like Atari and, you know, original Nintendo and stuff like that. You know, now we think about retro games, people are like, oh, like GameCube? I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
We're old. I get it. But yeah, I miss stores like that. Those are the brick and mortar stores I really liked, you know, and it was like ran by like a family, you know, like someone was always holding a baby, you know, like it's
true.
just,
Someone's always got a baby.
It,
Yeah, I was looking at, because I couldn't remember what game it was, but I did find it. So the last time that I was hunting down a game and calling GameStops, this is probably, I don't know, 15 years ago. I can't remember when this was I was doing this, but I really wanted this game that I had never played, that everyone loved on the Wii, called The Last Story. You guys ever play that game?
Yes. This was like one of the big three. This is one of the big three. Like when they were talking about, they were talking about like we have like 3 big RPGs from like, you know,
it was Xseed.
People come in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that was one that I had never, and I couldn't find it. It was really expensive. Getting a used copy was like impossible. I'm pretty sure it was The Last Story. Might have been Xenoblade Chronicles as well before that series really kind of became popular. It was hard to find.
I think they both were kind of rare, and I think GameStop had the Xenoblade Chronicles like reserve, like they had the exclusive for it. Like
exclusive, right? Yeah.
And they were usually like $90 to $100 for a used copy. They were so hard to find. And I remember doing what Dan said, like drove to one, called, double checked, triple checked. You've got it. Okay, great. It's got my name on it. Awesome. Got there. I don't know who you talked to, but no, there's no copies for you. And I even double checked, is there another GameStop? And I like confirmed the phone number with them, and it was just a whole thing. So yeah, so I never did play The Last Story on the Wii.
Yeah, me neither. I wanted to. I remember like thinking it looked cool.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, what can you do? Too late now. There's no way I can ever play it. It's too bad.
No, sorry.
Nope, impossible. Literally impossible.
Well, speaking of other games that have come out, let's talk about this one. Lost Soul Aside also launched. This game looks really flashy and cool. It looks like it's a character action game, right? Isn't that okay?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Have either or both of you been playing this one since it launched? Really, just like 24 hours ago, 48 hours ago, it launched. I think.
So, I forgot to drop it in the chat. My bad. They actually put out a demo for it. So I played the demo.
Okay.
How's the demo?
I don't know.
I didn't play it. I plan to, but I didn't pick it up yet.
So I only played like a little bit because, you know, that's like my thing, except for Hell Is Us apparently, because I'm obsessed already. But I played enough of this to kind of like get a good feel of it. I got to like a boss fight or like maybe a mini boss. I don't know. Yeah, it's very flashy, very fast, a lot going on. It feels very anime. There's just shit flying everywhere. This guy I was fighting like had like these swords that he could like literally like 100 swords on the screen that are like floating around. He's like throwing them at me and like creating like these like a shield around him and kind of trying to like, you know, pierce me that way. Like it's just craziness happening. I mean, even this right here, like what the fuck is going on here? Like what is happening? It's very anime. But very fun. It definitely felt like if playing like a Devil May Cry or something like that. Okay. Which is totally up my alley. So The voice acting is serviceable. Just a couple of exchanges that I heard in the beginning there. It seems serviceable. Nothing
So
super
it's no
impressive.
Outriders, is
I
what you're
wasn't
saying. I got you. Yeah. I got you.
right. Yes. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Which probably had a bigger
Sure.
budget.
If
than
there
this
was
game.
voice,
Oh, for sure.
if there was voice acting in that Kong game, it probably not as good as that either. I don't know if there was, but
Yeah.
but yeah, game looks great. I didn't see any sort of stuttering or issues because I heard people say that there was some stuttering and some frame rate issues. I think there was supposed to be like a big day one patch, so which I mean it
There
happens,
was. They didn't
unfortunately.
release review copies because of the day one patch, but they're like it wouldn't
Yeah,
be
oh yeah, that's what
accurate
it
to,
was.
like
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why there hasn't been any reviews out for it yet.
Yeah.
Maybe by now,
Um,
by the time this is live, but
Yeah. I certainly didn't, I'm also not picky about stuff like that. Like I've, been playing games for a long time, so I'm
Yeah.
fine when
I feel the same
that sort
way.
of thing happens. It's gonna happen sometimes, guys, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah,
Yeah.
it seems fun. It does seem fun. So I do look forward to playing it. I probably pick it up soon. I told Renee to either choose this or Chronos. So just surprise me with one for my
Chronos.
birthday coming up in a few weeks. So
Yeah,
I will
Chronos
have
the
more
New
to say
Dawn.
then,
That's
hopefully.
launching soonish, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Like next week, I think. Yeah. By Bloobs, good old Bloober.
You know,
Bloobs.
I'm looking at some of the reviews, and you're right. They're very few and far between yet. There's a couple that have no really.
Oh, have some come
notable
out. Great.
ones,
Okay.
just a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does seem like it varies. Like Eurogamer gave it a 40 out of 100, but
Oof.
Gamer Sky gave it an 80. So like, it seems like it's
that
gonna
is
be
kind of crazy. Yeah.
it might be some people's cup of tea, maybe not for everybody. I don't know, but
I will say that I think it's really fantastic that this is out though, because this was one of those like random, like this guy was making like a demo of like something that, because this was inspired originally by Final Fantasy versus 13. Like,
Yeah.
before it became even 15, I
That's
think.
right,
Or
that's
maybe it
where-
was
okay.
right when it became 15. I can't remember now.
okay.
I
I might be mixing that. I can't
They're
remember
the
which
same
one it
game.
is. Yeah. But either way, inspired. And yeah, he was just a singular dev that was like, I'm inspired by this. I'm gonna make my own thing. Sony's like, hey, we love that. Like, we're gonna create the Chinese hero project. It actually even flashes up on the screen, like when you turn it on. It's like, oh, they're like still acknowledging that like this was like
cool.
a special little like exchange here. But then over the years, like they gave him kind of like some funding, and that he actually has like a small team, so it hasn't just been one dev the whole time. Like it grew. The project grew.
Yeah.
And definitely from what it looked like back in the day versus now is crazy. So it's really cool to see somebody have their dreams achieved in making a game. I think that's cool. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those ones, not unlike Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, where if you're a fan of this genre or maybe the setting or something like that, you probably will love it. If the combat clicks for you or whatever the thing is. But for other people, that might be something you kind of forget about unless you really get into it and play it. But I'm glad it did finally launch. And I do like the story behind it. I know you've shared that one before too, which I think is super cool. So I do like that. Well, also out this week, Shinobi, The Art of Vengeance is now out. This is a franchise that I have never really played a Shinobi game. If I did, it's very brief. I can't really remember spending much time with the Shinobi series at all. But I am super into ninja side-scrolling games apparently in 2025 because they keep releasing them. So I'm going to keep playing them. So I am all about it. I played the demo on Switch 2. Thought it played really well. Thought it looked pretty good. So I went ahead and bought it on Steam after reading some performance reviews and stuff like that. It is gorgeous. Like beautiful on a high-end system or on a PS5 or Xbox Series X. I'm sure it looks amazing too. This is no diss on the Switch 2. It just clearly has a overall like fidelity hit.
No, I did get it on the Switch, and like you can see like the I don't know, like blurriness might not be the right word, but like it's just ridgy. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing smooth to it.
That's what I
Get it on
noticed
a
too.
higher end console for sure.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it on the Switch.
It
FYI,
played
I think it
super
plays
smooth,
perfectly.
like
Yeah,
really smoothly.
but like you could tell, like I'm missing some vibrancy here. You know,
That's
you
totally
could just
fair.
tell by looking
But
at
it does, at least for me, the demo at least, and Kyle, if you've got the full game, you can confirm
Mhm.
this. It played super smoothly. Like the frame rate was
Yeah.
very consistent, and
Oh yeah.
it felt great. But anyway, so what do you think about it so far, Kyle? You've been playing it a little bit too.
I like it. Yeah, I got to pretty much like this part here where like he sicks like the giant ape on you or whatever.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm like,
like the
I
first
don't know,
big
like
boss fight guy.
45 minutes in. Yeah, yeah. I like it. I think it feels really good to play. I think it looks good. I like Ninja Gaiden Ragebound a lot. I think that was gonna be my favorite out of the two. But like in the first 45 minutes of this game, I'm like, oh no, I like this better.
Yeah, me too.
Like
Me too.
so instantaneously,
Oh.
I like the way it looks better. I think the
Mhm.
art is cooler, even though I really love the old school like look of Ragebound. I just think this game's got a lot of personality. It just look at this, it looks cool. He's
It
riding a
almost has a
freaking
These
Ghost of
horse.
scenes, this
Tsushima like
scenes are
side
gorgeous.
scroll view. Like it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, it's playable. You can. That's the riding the wolf is playable. Okay,
Yeah, it's
great.
like a little in between sequence. They call it a bonus stage.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really like the combat a lot, and they give you a lot of specials right off the bat. Like there's
Mhm.
a lot of like special like moves and stuff like that. I
Right.
just feel, and I think it's easier than Ragebound as well. It feels easy. Maybe it gets harder
No, I
as it
think you're
goes on.
probably right.
Like I
Yep.
feel like they give you a lot more tools, and I just feel like it's a little easier, which is fine by me because Ragebound is freaking hard. I've just
Ragebound
fought
gets
like
tough. Yeah.
the two like I just fought the two like water dragons or whatever like
Oh
the other
yeah.
day.
I love that boss fight though.
That boss fight was great. Like once I got it, like I didn't even
Yeah.
get hit on my last time, but
Uh-huh.
like boy, I was hitting my head against the wall for a
know.
few rounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas like this, I don't see it getting to those heights, but I'm not very far in as well. But might ramp up. So
Okay. Okay.
how far are you? Are you? It sounds like you're really liking it.
I am loving it. Yeah, I am. I finished. I want to say I've fought 2 boss fights. After that first one, a couple new powers. I've been in some of these types of environments. I love the Ragebound does this too. The combination of kind of throwback ninja shinobi stuff, but with modern day settings and like
Yeah.
stages and guns you got to figure out and robots you got to fight.
Like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just love this kind of stuff, man. It reminds me of like some Saturday morning cartoons or like old school games. Just that
G.I.
vibe
Joe.
is super cool. So, and you get new outfits too. There's lots of secrets as well. So like a lot of the stages, there's areas you can't get to. Little Metroidvania elements where you'll get a power, like you get a charge punch that can bust through some of these walls or floors that look a different color, and you can't do anything with them when you first see them. You can go back later and it'll give you a percentage. Like the very first level, I think I only did like 36% of the level because of all the stuff I couldn't access yet.
Yeah.
So they give you plenty of reason to go back and play it if you want. But like Kyle said, the combat is so smooth, so slick. Like the games that I immediately started to think of, I started to think right away of Prince of Persia, which the most recent one, which I still think is a brilliant side-scrolling game, both with platforming. Think like Celeste levels of platforming precision, but also at times difficulty with some of the areas in Prince of Persia. It gets really tough, but it's really rewarding. This hasn't gotten to that level of difficulty yet, but there's elements of it that I'm like, this might get harder. I can't tell. Like, I don't know if there are some of those things, and you probably saw it in this video. I didn't watch this whole video here, but there's these kind of floating skulls. They look like a yokai skull or something like that. And if you activate it, then you fight a group of really tough enemies. And there's a certain number of those in every stage. If you complete all of them, you get some kind of bonus. It could be gameplay related. It could be an outfit. It could be something. You unlock something by defeating very optional but super tough groups of enemies. And they're usually like powered up versions of enemies you've seen. Maybe they have like a shield bar or like they hit a lot harder or they're bigger or something. So, so it gives you a ton of these types of things too, these abilities you can unlock. And then you can start mixing and matching what abilities you want to equip. When you hold LB, you can equip 4 different abilities. You also get, at the very beginning of this review, they showed your first big rage attack that you do. I forget what they call it. Oh, here's an elite squad challenge. So these are really tough enemies that you fight. And you unlock enough of them, you get a special item. But you get this move where you summon like these fire dragons and it just cooks everyone on the stage that's visible on the level. It's just super, super satisfying.
Is that where he does the Dragon Ball Z power up?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's his ninjutsu techniques. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple different things that are building up here in the corner. This one right here that's flashing and on fire, that's where you can hold LT and RT and you activate whichever move you've got equipped and you want to activate. This little bar right here builds up a smaller move set that you can equip 4 of these
Like
down here.
Nepo fire and
Yes,
Nepo,
exactly.
you know, water and
There's
stuff.
an uppercut, there's a dash, lightning move. They got a bunch of moves you can do. So they give you a ton that you can do. And Kyle, I totally agree with what you're saying. Like Ragebound was so fun, so arcadey, and yet it had enough complexity in the combat that I was like, this is really cool. I like it. But I never felt like I never felt like I was upgrading a ton. It was more of like just charging forward through these arcade levels, and some of them get really hard, and it's just kind of an old school experience. And I loved it. I finished that game. I loved it. This feels much more like the Prince of Persia, maybe even Dead Cells experience, where you're upgrading as you go, and the combat is so slick and so smooth. Your combo keeps building up even when you don't see an enemy for a while. If you don't get hit, this number right here on the top left will just keep climbing. And this little POW icon they have equipped. Anytime you maintain a combo above 15, you have increased damage. So you can add all these little amulets in that give you bonuses and things like that. So yeah, I really love it. There's even this assassination mechanic, which we've seen a couple times. This white bar under the enemy's health bar is an execution meter. It's almost like a stun, but when you fill that up, they get this symbol, this dark red symbol appears above their head, and you can hold LB or L1 and then hit RB or R1, depending on the controller, and you will do this really cinematic execution dash move. And if you do it where you get a bunch of characters on the screen at the same time to all be ready for execution, if you can manage that, you just execute all of them at once, which is super satisfying too.
Yeah.
Sick.
So they really make you feel cool in this. And
yeah, and just look at that, like he's like on a street level downtown area, like outside like a ramen shop or something. I love so
I think
far.
Chun-Li
like,
lives here somewhere, right? Isn't this where Chun-Li
right?
lives?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've liked all of the background so far. Look at that. It's so stylized. It's so cool. I love how the style of this game so much, and the art's so great, even in its blurry, weird Switch version, which like where's the Switch 2 for, like what the heck's going on?
I don't know,
like,
man.
Why,
if it were a Switch 2 version like we've talked about, Kyle,
it looks great. Yeah,
I probably would have gotten that one, but it was just a Switch version, which I know probably runs smoother on the Switch 2. But I could just tell
the frames are probably good, but
I could just tell that the graphical fidelity just wasn't quite what it would be if I got it elsewhere. But
it was kind of reminds me of what is that, like Castlevania like game that came out that like on everything. I'm gonna butcher this, but anyways, like there's been versions of this before. Bloodstained, yeah. It just looked like hot garbage on the Switch, but it looked great everywhere else that you played it.
Right.
This is that. Get it somewhere else. I have a little buyer's remorse, but like ultimately I'll be playing this on the go. So
yeah,
good for me.
It's a great. I think in handheld, you're probably not going to notice much of a difference. But if you're going to play on the big screen,
right? Yeah.
For sure. But it's just so good. Even right here, you can see where you can equip these different ninpo moves, different amulets that give you various bonuses. So there's just enough like upgrades and optional things where you can decide how you want to play. That it's very, very satisfying. But ultimately, it's about how the character feels to run around, jump, dash, dodge, to fight, what it feels like to actually pull off moves, and it all feels right. And that's the key. Like when sometimes you can't quite put your finger on it, but some games just don't feel right. And you're like, yeah, it was okay. I just didn't love it. And it's hard to sometimes describe. This one just feels right. Everything's very intuitive and super rewarding. And you can get like fights. I remember doing this fight. I did this one right here. And these archers, there's powered up versions of them that are pretty tough. They take a lot of hits to kill, but again, very, very satisfying. So
yeah,
I love this game, man.
I think it's awesome.
It's so good. Yeah, highly, highly recommend.
You're the ninjas, guys.
You're the ninja.
Yeah, so that's a really, really good one. All right, now for something completely different. Story of Seasons. Grand Bazaar is now out, you guys. Look how friggin' cute. Everything's just adorable.
You know what? They should have changed the name to Grand Cuteness. Or Grand Adorable or something like that.
Here's an example of one that does have a Switch 2 version, and I've heard good things about how it runs on the Switch 2.
Yeah.
But it's also available elsewhere,
runs
right?
Great.
Isn't it? Or is it just on
I think
Switch
it's available
2?
on everything. Yeah, I think it's everywhere.
Okay. So I think both of you are playing this one. What do you guys think so far?
Go ahead,
I think it's adorable. This guy right here, Tim. This guy, Felix. This is the guy. All right. Like literally, like my favorite Harvest Moon / Story of Seasons, because it's like the same thing, but not the same thing. Character ever created. Dude is hysterical. He's just straight up anime.
Everything about this is
straight up anime.
I gotta tell you, just looking at it.
The game looks great though. I do like the art style. It has
So
a little bit of that cell shaded.
It's the best the series has ever looked, for sure. This is my first game in the series to play, but like I've always seen them, and they've never looked like this.
Yeah.
Like this is a really sharp looking game.
Yeah, looks incredibly charming. Yeah, and this is a remake of the DS one, if I'm not mistaken. Grand Bazaar existed on the DS.
That sounds
yeah.
So,
but they've added a lot. Like it's far from just like
Yeah.
like a remake with better like graphics. Like,
Right.
They've
like there's
added
even
quite a
like a couple of extra romanceable characters, or maybe there's more than a couple, I'm not sure, because I was like trying, because Renee was like, oh, I wonder how many characters we can romance, so like I was looking it up, and yeah, I'd seen at least a couple of like just straight up new characters. I was like, oh, that's really cool,
That is
adding
cool.
like, you know, actual like more stuff to the game. But this part right here, this is the main thing, is the bazaar. The bazaar is so like in a lot of these farm sim games, you just have like a bin on your property,
you drop
and you
it,
just
and
toss
someone
everything in there.
mysteriously picks it up
Yeah.
and pays you.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is its own dopamine, because it's like if you threw a bunch of crap in there and then at the end of the day you're like, yeah, I just made a crap ton of
Yeah.
money. So
Yeah.
like that is fun, but this is unique and I like it a lot. So it's like you literally bring the items with you, and on Saturdays it's like, oh, well, the bazaar is open, so you go and you bring your stuff and you have a little stall and you put them on there, and then you have a little bell and you ding it when people are walking by and they're like, oh, I want that. So then you're individually like selling to people,
Can you set
which
the
just
price?
kind of adds a little bit of
I don't
no,
have-
at least
No,
not.
everything's
I don't know if you can later, but
Okay.
as of right now you can.
I was gonna say, if you
It's kind
can, then we got
of a set
ourselves a little
Okay.
bit of Moonlighter type gameplay, which is awesome.
Yeah, it does kind
Yeah.
of feel like Moonlighter in a way. This part of it does, yeah.
That's cool.
I do wonder
yeah,
if,
like-
as opposed to tinkering with the prices, Tim, because I think the items, and Kyle, I think you're actually ahead of me. There's the quality of items increases,
scaled
and
by
those
quality.
are worth more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
I'm
you
wondering
like
if
make
it's
a
that
better
instead.
radish, it is that. Yeah, like everything
Okay.
that of a higher quality. I think it goes up to 5 stars. A lot of stuff you're probably seeing right now is like
Yeah.
Look at the
0.5 or
flourish
1,
that he's
you know?
watering with. Look at how he just
Yep.
jumps.
Yeah. So you upgrade that as well. Like you can water more spot, because like everything's stamina based. You have that stamina meter up in like the top left corner, and like everything that you do, from like petting a chicken, feeding them, watering, fertilizing, picking, harvesting, it all like drains your stamina. So as you get better, you can use the same amount of stamina to do more.
Are you
and there
pretty
is,
free
like,
to change and
Yeah.
expand and adjust your little crop area here, or is it preset? Like, can you expand that little patch of land?
You can
if
expand it, but it's a set expansion.
Gotcha.
Like it's not like you're choosing where it goes.
It's not
or
like
anything
Stardew
that.
Valley where you are setting your
Yeah.
own.
No, it actually streamlines all that stuff. Even though I would say Stardew Valley is absolutely a parallel to this game, because like you are like romancing like townspeople, and you're talking with
Yeah.
townspeople every day. You're interacting and doing side missions for them, which is like making or crafting certain things that they need or gathering things that they need. But like instead of you building your house and building every square, like it just kind of like, this is where this is gonna go,
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to upgrade
And
your
to me,
storage,
that's fine. It's like, what does the developer
Yeah.
want you to focus on? Here's what they've really created for you to have fun
Yeah.
with. It's totally fine, man. That's what.
and
they-
everything's like so set up so well
That's
that
cute. Look at
like
that
this
leaf
is probably
there.
the way that you would probably set it up anyways. Like economically with your space, like everything would probably go,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you'd put it anyways. So they just do it for you, which I'm fine with.
Like I definitely appreciate the freedom of Stardew, and it is my favorite out of all of the farm sims. But this one so far, like even just early on, I'm like, this is kind of already one of my favorite ones. Like it's just
that's
it's very
great.
charming. Everything feels like really good. Like it just doesn't feel convoluted, like controls wise, I don't think, and just like getting
No.
around, because it's also not a huge map, because probably it's based off of the DS one. But I know areas will be opening up, so I don't know how much
Yeah.
bigger it gets, but yeah, it controls well. I like the jump, like as simple as it is, like just jumping, being able to jump around is like a huge thing. Like that's not really something you do in these games.
Yeah.
So that is
Well, when you
awesome.
get the
Even when they
double
jumped
jump,
and floated and they floated
Yeah,
down. Yeah,
the
that's
jump
Yeah.
and the floating and the
Yeah.
double
It's cute.
jump as you get that as the
Love it.
days go on, like it really opens up like the way that you can like tackle the map. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like
Yeah.
saving a little time, and your time is clicking. So it's like, and if you go to bed late, you start the next day with less stamina. The fishing is. I like a easy fishing mini game.
Me
I
too.
sat there for like
Yeah.
an hour earlier just fishing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff like I might be doing a lot of things wrong in this game, but the game doesn't like treat me like I'm doing wrong stuff because I don't really know. Like I'm doing side missions as I can. I'm growing things. I don't know if I'm growing the right stuff. Like the game just kind of lets you be, which I like. I
Yeah.
like a game like this that doesn't
too.
like I don't know scold you for like being like, well, you grew the wrong crop. That's not really in right now. You know, like everything
Yeah.
sells.
So
There might be certain items that are trending. You know, that month and trends reset every season, and 1 month is a season.
Right.
So you got like 30 days or
Yeah.
something like that. And again, like you're racing against the clock every day. I have so much stuff to do in a day. There's not enough time in a day to do everything. So I kind of have to pick and choose. And like you were saying, that dopamine hit of like selling stuff at the bazaar, you have to plan out your week. You know, Saturday is the bazaar day. So that means you have to have all your crops and everything ready by at least Thursday or Friday. But if you're going to turn some of that stuff into food, shops are closed on Friday, or at least the shop to like buy stuff
mm,
at. Ingredients and stuff like that. So if you need to go and like buy sugar to like cook or whatever, like you should have done that Thursday. So there's just a lot of like
Yeah.
there's a lot to think about. But let's say you forget to go, you could still sell your ingredients like raw and stuff like that, make a killing at the bazaar.
oh yeah.
So it's like
Like
there
that's
are opportunities to make more money, but if you don't seize those opportunities, it doesn't feel like the game punishes you.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
I
that's
like
kind
that.
of the thing with these games. They are meant more to be like the approach is overall like it's chill. Like
Cozy.
it's just it's
Cozy. For sure.
cozy, they're chill.
That's
It
where
just
cozy
means like
and
if you're
survival games go their separate ways, right? Survival games, if you make
Yes.
the wrong recipe one time, it's
Yeah.
like you're probably
Sure.
going to restart the whole game. Probably.
You're right, exactly.
Sure. Yeah. Whereas here it's just like, okay, so maybe in order to beat the game, it takes you a few extra like in-game days. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not
Mhm.
really like you're losing anything. It's just a matter of you going at your pace and how like meticulous do you want to be about everything, you know, or
Yep.
how not meticulous you want to be about everything. So
Totally agree. That's why when I played something
yeah,
like The
and
Long
also
Dark,
voice
I was
acting.
like, dude, it's too punishing. I made one mistake and I'm done forever. So I didn't like those
Yeah,
kind
no,
of games.
that's
But then I
too
played
much.
Valheim, and it's got so much forgiveness to the still what's pretty harsh
Yeah.
world that it was like, man,
Yeah.
so inviting to keep playing, you know? So that's what I like about these games too. You mentioned Stardew. What looks appealing about even something like this is the element of the pressure is there in a way because you want to improve, but it's not so stressful that
Yeah.
you're like, you have to like grit your teeth to play it, you know?
Yeah, no, I feel like even like Kyle was saying, you're picking and choosing things to do in a day, but like you still feel productive.
Yeah.
Because you're still like, you know, here even just gathering resources. It's like, well, I'm doing something that I need to do, so like I'm getting stuff done, or talking to all the townsfolk to increase the relationship ranks and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Which speaking of which, voice acting in the game, which is awesome. That's why I think Felix is hilarious because he also the voice actor. I looked them up because I was like, this voice does sound familiar to me. The Felix voice actor has done like a crap ton of anime and like video
okay.
games. He's been around for
So you
actually a
recognize his
while.
voice,
So
okay.
that yeah, I definitely like as I was looking, I was like, well, I know I've watched this and I've played this. So like yeah, he's been around. So he's obviously very good because yeah, he like literally because he's the first person you meet in the game, and I was just like, this is amazing. I love this character because he's just so anime. But the voice acting's pretty solid, and I feel like a lot of the story seasons don't have voice acting from what I remember.
I don't think any of them
So-
ever have had it.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So that's a nice touch. I do appreciate that. They're not. It's not literally every line is voiced, but like a decent amount
Yeah.
for what these
Yeah.
games are. So
And
Yeah,
I'm not saying the
I'm happy
characters
about
are
that.
like complex or like thought provoking.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
they're fun. Like they have a very
Yeah.
unique like design to them. Like I don't know. Like there are some immediately like, oh, I really want to be this person's friend, or like, hey, I'm definitely thinking about romancing this person. There's enough there to create interest and like going to talk to the people you want to talk to. Which I thought Stardew Valley obviously is probably the king of that.
Yeah.
And I think this game is knocking on the door of Stardew Valley. It feels like Stardew Valley. Maybe saying Stardew Valley for beginners is maybe a little incorrect, but like it does feel like a lighter version of that while still maintaining a
Yeah.
complexity to keep it interesting. Again, like I think at hour 2 I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this game, and then I put 7 more hours in that same session, like right afterwards. And I was like, oh, I just time traveled. I guess I like this game. Like there was something at some point, like the cycle of things, like really, I was just like, I don't know if I want
It
to talk
clicks.
to these people every day and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
pull your radishes out of
These
this
games you
garden.
can't
And then,
only play for an hour or two.
no, no, you
And
don't
get a
really
good
get
feel of it.
you don't really get the full like scope of everything, because then an area opens up and now you're like, if I want to go mine ore all day, now I can go up the mountain and do that, and like
Right.
it's
Yes.
slowly unlocking all these areas and these things to do. And like again, the
Yeah.
fishing, like I did for an hour today by itself just because it was a mission that I had to do, and like I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
I just loved sitting there and picking a spot
Yeah.
and fishing and getting bait and talking to people as they walked
Right.
up to me, and it's just fun. It does feel like a kind of a living city because everyone's walking around and on their routine and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
kind of feels like a small little town, a little cozy town, and I like the
Nice.
upgrading of
I'd
the
live there.
bazaar too. Yeah, same. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I like the upgrading of the
I would
bazaars. Like
definitely
you're getting a
live there.
better tent, and you're bringing people in with like signs and decorations that you're purchasing, you're acquiring, and much like Animal Crossing, there's like events on certain days. It's like this the flower festival. Whoever gets the most flowers will get like a trophy, and you
Yep.
display that trophy like on your trophy case, and it's just cool, man. There's a lot going on in this game, and I really enjoy it. And I know that like you're just supposed to keep on kind of banging out years until you're done. There's no like ending. I don't think. I think maybe the ending
Yeah.
is like getting
Yeah.
a star at like 5 stars or something like that. But obviously, you just keep on kind of trucking away at it. So I don't know.
Yep.
This game looks like it feels like it's gonna have a lot of longevity. So and it takes a while to get through a
Yeah.
week. It takes a while to get through a week. It's I mean, you're going to put a lot of hours in this game to get through a whole year. So I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad. I don't know if you talked me into it, Dan, and I'm going to give you credit for it anyway. So thank you for. I don't know what happened.
You're welcome, Dan.
I don't think I was going to get
You're
this
welcome.
game, but I think you kept talking about it, and I was like, I think I'm going to get this game.
Am I
Yeah,
gonna
these
get
these
this?
games are just
I
nice.
gonna- am I buying this?
It's happening.
Yeah. They're nice, I mean, like we joke around about the sim games and all that, but like there is something about gamifying a chore or like
Yeah.
just a mundane thing, and like just having that be a video game and doing video game things is like, well, it's not real life, so it's not really a responsibility. I'm just having fun because it's a video
Yeah.
game. So.
Yeah, there is something about having a good week at the bazaar where you're like, I really did good this week. I prepped properly. I made a lot of
Yeah.
money. I got a new star rating, for my bazaar. Everyone in town's like super
Oh, yeah.
happy about like how good we did. It's just vibes, man. It just feels
Love
good.
it. Well, I think
Very
one of
true.
you is playing this as a surprise game, perhaps. Also out this week, Super Robot Wars Y. Someone's playing this one, huh?
Speaking of anime,
Yep.
anime.
This is one of my favorite series of all time.
Oh.
I've been
G
talking.
Gundam.
That's Gene Gundam, baby. I've been talking. I've talked a few times about this game on this podcast, where I used to, get these games internationally and play it on like RIP systems like
That's
that.
right.
because we didn't
Oh
start
yeah,
getting-
yeah. I
we
remember
didn't
you
start
mentioned.
getting this series until recently, and the last game I think was only on Steam. And that was the first game to come over here with like English, like I played most of these games with like Japanese on the bottom. Like I never knew what any of that, anything that was going on in these
Yeah.
games. And it's cool. Like it's a giant crossover. Like maybe 5 people are gonna understand this, but like the game opens up with like the Code Geass story going on at the same time as Char Counterattack. And like these are
Okay.
2 completely different anime properties, but like they just do this weird
Right.
thing of meshing these stories together while telling its own unique story with its unique characters and a cast of like people that you would be familiar with. You saw G Gundam, Dan, and got a little giddy. That's what this game is. It's just a giddy factory. Oh my god, it's Hero from Gundam
Love it.
Wing. Like that's all it is. Is like you're in a I don't know what's going on in the story. It's nonsense, but like every once in a while, like Duo will show up in Death Scythe, and you're like, yeah, dude, yeah. Or
Yay.
Macross, some mech from Macross will show up, or any anime with robots
Classic.
that's in this, and you're fighting like Godzillas, and you're fighting other mechs and other characters, and it's
So what is the
Tons
actual
is really-
combat? Because that didn't show any combat, but
it's your favorite. It's tactics. It's tile based
okay.
tactics. I would say its best analog is probably Fire Emblem, where it's like you're moving people up, and then it goes to like that, like I don't know, that like arena where they do pre overly animated attacks, and that's like the bread and butter of the game is just like watching these attacks. You kind of go off these animations, and they're really well animated. It's a really fun and sharp looking game, and it's just stupid. And I don't know who this game is for, other than like anime like robot
Oh yeah,
nerds.
I
That's
can't.
it. Like that's
I can't
That's
like
imagine.
exactly who it's
no
for.
You know.
nobody's playing this game outside of that fan base, which may
Yeah.
be why we never got these games here in America until recently. So
Sure.
who knows if this sells well, but it's fun. If you like any anime like with robots in it, I would
This
absolutely
is the one.
grab this game on a sale, at some point or something like that. I'm like a couple hours into it, and it's just a good time. It's just stupid.
Love it.
It's fun
I
watching
need
all
those
those
kind of games sometimes too. Like for me, usually a sports game will fill that gap of
Yeah.
like I don't need a story. I just want to play. Like I just need the gameplay or whatever. But yeah, totally
There was
with
a
you.
game back in the day, like on the 3DS. I forget what they were called, but they were like all the Sega properties and like a giant RPG, and it's like Yakuza characters.
Oh, I
and
had that one.
You know what I'm talking about?
I
I
can't
played
remember what
both
it
of
was called.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
Cross. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
it's exactly like that. If in fact, if you
Okay.
told me the same developer made it, like I would totally buy it. Same kind of crossover event story with overly animated like attacks and stuff like that. So
That's fun.
Project
that.
X Zone.
Project X Zone. Yeah,
I've heard
that's
of
cool,
that.
dude.
I didn't know that was like a
Nice,
bunch of
cool.
Sega properties all together. Okay.
Yeah. It's like characters from Darkstalker. It's like It's like 30 different games, like all like smushed together. Tekken characters, and maybe it's not just Sega then.
I just remember X
But
Zone from Final Fantasy VI, where it's an instant kill on almost every enemy. If you vanish them and then
oh
you
yeah,
X Zone, they were dead because X Zone
there you
like
go.
had a small possibility of like trapping them in a black hole and taking them away, like instant win.
That's awesome.
But if they were vanished, it had a 100% chance for some reason of working. So
That's
it worked
cool.
I love those cheese strats.
60% of the time,
Yeah.
every time.
Love that.
All right, guys, there's some other cool games coming out that I wanted to highlight for us. This first one just looks so awesome, and I think people have known about it. I think it's either been kickstarted or maybe it's been in early access. I don't know, but it's out now. It's called Incision. They're calling it a fast-paced, super gory, retro-style first-person
Oh.
shooter.
Oh,
It's just got
A
a real cool
Booma
vibe.
shooter.
I love the lighting with the old school pixelated.
I do
kind
too.
of,
yeah.
Yeah, it
This
looks
one's for
really-
you, Gaston.
Yeah, this one looks awesome.
We got you, buddy.
Super Doom-like with all the like blood and gore and fast-paced, like everything about it just looks really cool. While having this also like not fantasy, but like weird demonic, I don't know, non-realistic setting as well, which is cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I like the revolver.
How's the music though?
Well, let me turn
I'm
this
curious
on.
about.
Listen.
Is it Doom like?
All right, sounds very retro,
Um,
like MIDI style, but like
Okay.
deep MIDI noises. Sounds cool. Very
Okay,
electronic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if they went the metal route or not, but
No, it does not sound like metal. But it could be like MIDI metal.
talking points.
You know what I mean?
MIDI metal.
Okay, yeah,
MIDI
there's a little metal
That should
now.
be. Oh, okay. Oh. So we got a well balanced soundtrack, is what you're saying.
It's not quite up to the Doom level,
Oh,
but yeah.
oh my god!
It's given
Dude,
us
that
some.
guy exploded.
Yeah, it's given me some really cool music vibes. So anyway, there you go. Incision
Okay.
is out now.
That's
Only
cool.
on PC
I like
at the
that.
moment, but probably coming to other stuff at some point. So there we go. All right, the next one.
Nice.
I like to kind of mix things up in a totally different direction. This one's called Plan B Terraform.
What
I believe
this?
it is very much like a Earth is now like impossible to live on anymore. So you got to go to this new planet, terraform it, and then essentially you need to build civilization there. It's got automation elements, city building elements to it. Yeah, it's creative mode.
Okay.
Kind of reminds me of
pretty
Spore. Remember Spore back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's got automation pieces to it because from what I've seen, I think it gets pretty crazy. Yeah, it gets pretty crazy. Yeah, it does remind me of Spore, where you're kind of like the god, basically, like controlling everything. Yeah, a little bit of that. So anyway, it's called Plan B Terraform. If that scratches an itch that you've got, go play that one. Same with Dungeon Warfare 3, which I think is kind of a tower defense style game.
Tower defense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At least that's the vibe that I get
The
from it.
third one. Would you say this is the culmination
I
of
mean,
tower defense?
That's the only way to look at it, I'm afraid.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
Culmination.
I do like these kind of games sometimes. I don't play them a ton. Let me see if that.
Jeez. Look at the chaos.
Yeah, pure chaos.
That looks like reminds me of like Warcraft, like the top-down,
Yeah.
So
art
there you go.
style.
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
definitely tower defense,
The
strategy,
old
that
Warcraft.
kind of stuff.
Old
So,
Warcraft. Yeah, just the art style, not the gameplay.
all right, and then next up we've got. Do you guys remember the game Pine? Do you remember that game? Let's see if I can find a video of it real quick.
I don't know.
It came out. I think it
familiar?
was like students who made a game. I want to say.
Ew. I'm sorry.
Kids. Damn hooligans.
All right, here's the Pine trailer. And I never played it on any other platforms. I tried it on Switch, and it was kind of a disaster. It never looked nearly this good as we see in this trailer. The draw distance was awful. Everything looked foggy, and the performance was. I don't think it hit above like 20 FPS at its best.
Some in the industry would call that looking switchy.
It
It was
looked
a new
real
term
switchy.
I picked
It looked
up
real
on.
switchy.
Looked switchy.
Wow.
So this was just some essentially game developer students and programming students who made this game, and I think it got mediocre reviews, but also kind of like, hey, good job. Well, it's kind of like I'm excited for your next project. This was like a test, you know what I mean, for students, kind of a thing. So this is Pine, and then this is their new game that's coming out. Looks like they're leaning a lot more into some of their strengths. It's called The Nightling.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't look anything like Pine.
Oh, this seems familiar.
We talked about it a little while ago when they first announced it. They currently have the Switch
Okay.
version on hold. I imagine they're trying to also get a dev kit from Nintendo. We'll talk about that later. But it is coming to PS5. It is out now on PS5, Xbox, and PC. So you're this little knight. You use your shield for your primary, of course, weapon, defense, but also transportation as you surf around on it. So kind of
Cool.
action platforming. I think it looks really fun.
Yeah.
Creative usage of the shield too.
The sliding around looks really slick.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Throw in
So-
your shield, Captain America style. Use it as a. Do you see that as a little floating device? That was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, like an umbrella too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It does all sorts of things. Look at it go.
So it looks like they've really kind of hit a good groove after Pine. So this was the PlayStation launch trailer, so it only lists PS5. They pretend like other things don't exist at Sony. We know how that works.
Good job, Sony.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing
But
else.
it is out on PC and Xbox as well. There you go, The Nightling. Hey, speaking of PlayStation, they now have Gears of War on the platform. So Gears of War Reloaded is now out. You can play it on PlayStation. You
It's
can
on the
fire
best
up a
machine.
Game. You can fire up a game that says Microsoft on it. And I think there's been a few like that already, but
Do you have to sign into your Microsoft account to
this?
play it, I wonder? Usually that's the case,
certainly.
right? Yeah.
Almost certainly.
You know what?
I hope so.
Good. Yeah, good.
I hope
I hope
so.
you have to sign in 4 or 5 times. I hope you have to sign in.
So,
Actually, I hope you have to sign into your Xbox account and also like I don't know, PC account, like something. Like
Yeah.
I want there to be multiple accounts.
I can't wait for these PlayStation dorks to learn how good people are at the online multiplayer in this game and how like you already don't
Sure.
have a chance because everybody's already good at it. Like
Right.
that's-
yeah, good
I've
luck.
never seen people get so good at a video. Like I don't know if y'all have seen like high level players playing this game, but like it is humbling.
Yeah.
Like,
This
so
is the kind of game I
have
would
fun
never.
with that PlayStation.
This is the kind of game I never play online. I just do the solo mode where I can feel cool.
Yeah.
I don't need. I've been
Same.
humbled enough in my life. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good.
This is definitely
Sure.
one where people just got overly good at, and you're just like, oh, there's like no way to catch up, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, have fun with that, PlayStationers.
So this is out now. One I didn't grab a video for because I apparently am an Xbot is Helldivers 2 is now out on Xbox. I was looking
Yeah.
for. I was looking.
See, I
for
thought I
the-
was
the
missing
great-
something with the
The
shenanigans.
great Game Wars trade. It finally happened. We gave them one, and they gave them one. That's great.
Everybody
Yeah,
gets
apparently,
one.
leading up to it, a lot of people online were being really toxic, like, we're gonna grief Xboxers, screw these people or whatever. The reality is that it's been very positive, and like a lot of Xbox
Good.
people are getting helped by the PlayStation and PC players, and like there's a lot of, I don't know, there's
Their
a lot of like
concurrent player
good,
count skyrocketed
yeah,
again.
skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a real good feel good story, and everyone's being, for the most part, pretty welcoming and stuff like that.
Nice.
So yeah.
So there's
It's
also
And there's
almost
like a
like
big
people
story
can
moment
actually
too,
just get
where it
along.
like the war story was like going poorly, and then like suddenly we got a surge of recruits, and like they, it's the Xbox players that
okay.
came in, and it's like
That's
they built
fun.
it into the story. Yeah, it's super
well, and the
cool.
ODST content as well, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, we got some
Yeah,
Halo content
good
going
stuff.
on. So there you go. Helldivers is happening on Xbox, and Gears of War is
That's
happening on
crazy.
PlayStation.
Yep.
The world is finally at peace.
We're whole again. We did it. Yeah.
We did
Don't
it.
look online and fact check that.
Everything is fine. Everything is okay now.
What's great is that everyone's getting along now because of this.
Everyone's more
Right,
than
yeah,
ever,
yeah.
I would say.
Yeah,
It was a combination of this
absolutely.
and Gal Gadot's Imagine video that she did
It
with
was.
celebrities during COVID.
Really,
Those two
it took a long,
events.
it took a
brought us
long time,
together.
but the world finally healed.
Yeah, those are the two things.
She
right.
really is Wonder Woman, like real life Wonder Woman.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
That's so true.
Yeah. Save
All right,
them
this one, I know, Kyle, you've at least been tracking this one a little bit, but it is finally out now. I believe it's in the 1.0 version. It is called Mortal Sin. Have you guys heard
Oh
of this
yeah,
one?
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mortal Sin, I mean, it's like this first-person fantasy, but it's got this cool art style to it.
Yeah, it's kind of doomy, it seems like, but it's got melee weapons and stuff. It seems kind of faster paced.
Yeah, it's only $20 as well. The early access reviews were 96% positive, and so far the 1.0 reviews are 93% positive. So people are loving it.
It's 3% worse.
And it's clearly worse, obviously. So it is
drawing
a
board, guys.
first-person dungeon crawler. It is an action roguelike, though, so it's got the whole, like, if you die, you reset with some upgrades and then try again. It's got that vibe to it. So yeah, I just think it looks really cool.
I like
the art style is interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, so there's Mortal Sin, and then we got another interesting one called Davy X Jones. Have you guys heard of this one?
Yeah. No. I imagine it's a pirate game.
Well,
I like this bird.
Yeah, it is a action adventure, first-person shooter type game.
Yep. This looks like classic pirate stuff, flying whales.
I thought this would be like a $40 game. And it looks like, higher level visuals, but it's only $10 full price, and right now it's on sale for like $6.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm
okay.
Isn't it funny? Like, I want things to be cheaper, but I look at that and I go, what's wrong with it then? What is it? Like,
yeah, right. Nintendo.
Well, when
Nintendo
it looks like
has
this,
us all screwed up.
Yeah, Davey Extra. Here, let's see if we can get to the actual game. The gameplay was not featured here. So let me 666. Oh, I get it.
Huh. Okay.
For 6 days, 6 hours, and 6 minutes, it'll be $6.66. Let's see what they're doing. I see what
the
they're
devil.
Doing. Yeah. But I like the concept. I like that setting.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get gameplay, just so, because all that was cinematic, which I know Dan loves that, but
yeah, extremely. I only make my purchases based off of cinematics, so
I know you do. I mean, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, visually for $10, it looks pretty all right. Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's got like in-game purchases or something. I don't know why it's so cheap.
Maybe it's just not a super long game.
Could be super. Yeah, it could be a super short game. Here's some actual fighting. Looks cool. So yeah, if you're just listening, there's just some first person. You got, looks like a blade of some kind, or an axe or something in your left hand, some kind of melee weapon, and then you've got your somehow what looks to be semi-automatic revolver, or like old school pistol.
Of course.
Sure.
Yeah. And you're fighting a bunch of skeletons and other baddies. So anyway, there you go. Davy X Jones is is out now. If you want to give that one a look. All right. Pivoting again to a totally different style. This one's called Whisper in the House.
Oh,
Cute.
What's this?
This is a very cozy
What's this,
game.
Tim?
What's that?
What's this?
It's called Whisper of the House.
I don't know. I'm just intrigued.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It is. First of all, it's overwhelmingly positive on the reviews. People are loving it. It's
Yes.
the idea of it is it's a cozy game where you are organizing and decorating, taking on various tasks from townspeople, helping them move, organize, clean their spaces, and uncover some of their hidden stories. It's very like friendly, chatting, and then helping them organize their homes or rooms, furniture, whatever.
Okay.
So, and it's got this cute little pixel art style, this isometric pixel art style. So speaking of cozy, this looks like it fits the bill. If that's something that you are.
I love the way this game looks. I love it.
It's got a cute little look to it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Pretty nice.
Whisper of the House, not in the house, of the house. So there you go. That is out now as well. All right, we're almost there. There's another one that I am cautiously optimistic about. It's called Beyond the Map. And I like a good survival game that's got some fun RPG mechanics. The reviews on it seem...
Oh, this looks old school.
Yeah, it does. The reviews on it seem mostly positive, with some negatives saying they just like it needs more content, but also it needs a little bit of fine tuning on combat. But there's just enough Valheim in there for me to be intrigued.
Building.
Yeah.
Isometric Valheim. It's procedurally generated world too, so you can start a new game, new map, and everything's gonna be different.
This stuff looks like Diablo,
Right?
Like the
Yeah.
combat
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Valheim too. They're all kind of.
It does have a Diablo
The
vibe
perspective.
from the perspective, for sure.
Yeah, right.
So, I don't know much about it. I can't vouch that it's excellent. We've done this a few times. We're like, hey, this looks cool, and then it turns out people don't really like it. That's fair. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's fun to highlight these just in case. Last but not least, this is actually a game I played the demo of. I've got some thoughts on it. It's called Space Adventure Cobra: The Awakening. We've talked about it. I mistakenly last week, in my brain had confused it with G.I. Joe. We were talking about toys and that kind of. This is based on that comic, the manga, I think, Cobra.
Yeah. From
And
like the 80s.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, it's got a lot of style. Like as you can see there in those cutscenes and stuff, the cutscenes have a lot of style. Even the gameplay itself has a lot of style. So if the style intrigues you and you like a side-scrolling kind of platformer shooter, it's got some cool stuff to it. And I'm sure maybe my impression of it just wasn't the most positive. I just don't like the way it controls. We talked earlier about when a character on a screen just feels right. And the jumping feels right, the dashing feels right, the shooting feels right. Something about this, and maybe it's because it's the demo, and maybe I would love it if I gave it more time, just didn't feel quite right. So, and I was already really into Shinobi, so I was like, I don't need another side-scroller right now. But the style is awesome.
It looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks like
style
Mega
is
Man.
Yeah.
With his little arm cannon.
Yeah, because he pulls his fake arm off and then just starts blasting people, So,
As one does.
yeah, that's what I do. So, anyway. So, Space Adventure Cobra, The Awakening. Really, really like clear design choices and style, and it does work. They did a
Oh,
good
for
job
sure.
with it. So yes, I believe that is it in terms of new stuff that is out. So, okay, enough with new games and stuff. There's a couple of headlines I thought would be interesting to go over together. The first one I actually didn't add on here yet, but our conversation tonight has reminded me of it. What is going on with Nintendo and their dev kits for the Switch 2?
What's the deal with
What is the
What's
deal with the
that,
dev
dude?
kits?
I don't know. I don't even have time to do a Seinfeld bit. What is the deal
What
with
is
this?
the deal? Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've seen all kinds of reports coming out that Nintendo is actually encouraging companies to go ahead and just release it on Switch, and it'll be backwards compatible, and it's gonna be fine, which is frustrating to a lot of us who want Switch. We've just been talking about Switch 2 version, which should be great for this one. Switch 2 version, which should be great for this one, and it's so I don't know. We chatted about this a bit in our group chat, but for those of you listening, basically what's been happening is it seems like Nintendo either doesn't have enough dev kits, doubt it, or they're being really stingy and weirdly, maybe in their minds, strategic about who they give them to. Which seems more likely. I just don't know what that strategy is.
I can't see the strategy if there is one.
I don't know. But some companies are saying, yeah, I still haven't gotten one. But then they'll see a company like this little indie group who made a weird, like, hey, we're using the Switch cams. We'll make a campfire game. Okay, like they get one.
Yeah, why did they get one?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know. But then a company like CD Projekt Red clearly had one because they were able to put out a great version of
Yeah.
Cyberpunk and even get it on a cartridge, right? Wasn't it one of the only like games that's actually on the cartridge too? I'm
I
pretty
think so,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, maybe,
So
yeah.
it seems weird that Nintendo is kind of picking and choosing who. It seems like they're doing that. Maybe they're not. Maybe there's something weird up the chain that's just not connecting. But it feels a
They're
lot
certainly
like
not being
Nintendo.
picky or choosy about hentai
Oh my
games
gosh,
on their
their
storefront.
eShop is a problem. still.
Yeah, I just
So,
the battles
you
that they
know.
pick are so weird to me. You know, maybe they're busy right now suing some YouTuber or something like that for some small infringement. Like I don't know. Like who knows what they're busy with right now? But like we were talking about in the chat, it's just like this thing sold. Like what 9 million unit? Like what are we at now?
It's
12 million?
outpacing the Switch One right now. It's crushing it.
What happens in 6
Yeah.
months when we don't have a new game to play? You know, like I don't understand like what's going on here at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. And like we're all hungry for games. Tim and I talk about how susceptible we are every week. You know, we're
Hey,
still
that
in, like,
vulnerability
this-
is fading. a little
we're
bit,
still
you know?
like it is fading, but like if you had a lot of these games on Switch too, like Ragebound and
Yeah.
Shinobi and stuff like that, you know, like it just I feel like I don't know. It just I'm trying to make sense of it, and it drives me crazy that I can't like
Can't do it.
pinpoint something here.
I agree. Yeah, I'm not
Well,
sure.
it's also all these what game keys or the game whatever it is where
Mhm.
it's not actually the cartridge. Like there's that
Yeah.
stuff going on too that everyone's been pissed since they announced. Like,
Yeah.
So here's
yeah,
who's mad about that: collectors, people who want physical copies.
Yeah.
Everyone else
yes,
kind of doesn't care. So
It
there's
doesn't.
a really
yeah,
loud vocal minority who I think they should
Yeah.
be heard on this, who just want the
I think so
actual
too.
thing on the
I-
cartridge. Developers, from all I've seen and read, love it because it saves them a ton of money. So that's just what
Yeah.
I've seen. But it's the collectors who want the real thing, and I buy most things digitally anyway. I'm part of the problem. I realize this.
Same.
But,
it
like,
doesn't affect me, but I
doesn't
get
affect
it.
me.
You know what I mean? I get it. It doesn't. I'm not directly outraged by it, but through proximity, like Dan, I'm mad on behalf for
Me
you. You know
too.
what I mean? Like
Why are they picking on Dan?
yeah, right.
Like,
right.
I would
Stop
sign a
doing
petition.
it.
I'm a simple man.
I would sign a petition with you. You know what I mean? It's not something that.
I you know what?
I'm a
and I
simple man.
wouldn't, but I would still
Social media.
throw.
What those?
I would still throw my well wishes your way. That's
I
for
would.
sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for your well wishes. Thank you.
But
And your prayers.
it is
too.
weird though, like those decisions without a lot of communication around it, and then this weird thing with the dev kits, and we're getting not that many Switch 2 versions of third-party stuff that's coming over, and it makes you wonder too, like, is that because I've heard bad reports on how Elden Ring is running on there, and I'm like, did
I heard
FromSoft
at
not get it?
Gamescom they wouldn't allow anybody to take footage because it was running so poorly.
Right.
Which shocked me because again, like Cyberpunk runs well.
Well,
I'm not
and
saying
Elden Ring ran
Cyberpunk's
on
harder to
PS4.
run, but
Elden Ring.
yeah. You know what? I am saying Cyberpunk's a harder game to run then. I
It's
am
way
saying
harder.
it, you know? So how are you not getting Elden Ring to run properly? Like I just don't
I guess
don't
FromSoft
get
has
it.
a reputation of being really bad at ports. I didn't know that.
Okay,
Um,
sure.
But that being said, what the heck? What's going? Like, did they not get a dev kit? And maybe they did, and that's a totally separate issue. But yeah, it's very strange. I feel
I
like
don't
we should
know.
be seeing, like, for example, I'm a college football fan. I'm like, why didn't EA put out? Oh, I bet you EA was limited in what they were able to do, and they already down-res Madden. They don't do this to
Mhm.
college football. They keep that on the
Yeah.
two newer consoles, but Madden's on everything. So maybe that's why Madden came out on
Yeah.
Switch too. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's all very strange. It seems like some devs are getting them, some are not. Maybe Nintendo has this in their minds. They could have set up their own internal goals of we need to keep making software for the Switch 1 for X number of months because of our install base. And then once we pass this threshold on Switch 2, then we can pivot. This could be their way of trying to control software flow.
Yeah.
To make sure
Yeah,
Switch
but
1
I
gets
just
enough.
don't know how that benefits.
Then they
anybody.
shouldn't have released the second Switch then. Like,
Dude, I'm with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
know,
It's
like-
time to throttle, man. It's time
Like-
to throttle on the Switch too, and it's time to like pick up the
Yeah.
pace and like you not. I mean, like, why does Call of Duty have a dev kit? You know, like
Good question.
they get a dev kit, but like other people, I just don't. I just again, I don't understand. Like who you have to.
they
be
are
good
really
friends,
weird about
like, with
control.
They are.
You know, They are
They
weird
have, they
about
have
that.
always been. Yeah, again, like they're busy
Yeah.
suing every YouTuber out there that they, like
Yeah.
they want to control everything, and but I just don't understand this control.
But do you know why we're
Yeah.
guessing like this, everybody? Nintendo doesn't talk about it.
They won't say
They won't
anything.
communicate it. They won't be like, here's our strategy, here's our plan, here's how you can
Someone
get a dev
corner
kit.
Doug Bowser. Someone corner that guy. He gets chatty when you corner him.
It's true.
Let's get him cornered.
I mean, it could also be a long play into the next Mario game where Wario actually stole all the dev kits and you have to go collect them.
Yep,
In every
that's
level.
right.
There's 7 of them.
Yep.
There's 7 magical dev
There's-
kits, and you have to collect them all to restore the dev kit. Or
That's
something.
right.
You know.
You have
That's
to
just too
waggle your
clever.
way to
That's
success.
just too clever, Tim.
I don't know what's happening, but that's very strange, and I'm still super hopeful and excited about Switch 2, and I love it, but I'm also kind of like, don't do
Part
this.
of being a Nintendo fan is not understanding what the game plan is, but still enjoying the game. You know what I mean?
That's a
Like,
big
I
part
don't
of
really
it.
know what the plan is here, but I'm having kind of a good time. So that's kind of what
Agreed.
being a Nintendo fan is.
I mean, I'm enjoying Donkey Kong still, so there's that.
Yeah, I'm not lacking games. I'm playing my Switch 2 more than any other system right now. Like and I never thought that would be the case. And that will go away, at some point. But like, I don't know. Like so I am enjoying. I don't have a lot of bad things to say or anything like that. But like stuff like this, it's just like I don't know. You have no other choice but to go. What the fuck, Nintendo? Like
What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that. But anyway, hey, speaking of the Switch, it sounds like Sony wants in on the party. There is a report that claims that there is a planned portable kind of, I don't know if it's going to be like connection or version or like option. Think PS Portal, but specifically for the PS6, where you'd be able to dock it. It obviously wouldn't be as powerful as the full PS6 console, which they say it's, the idea is they're still going to have their big PS6. So anyone who's freaking out, like they're going to try to be like Nintendo, no, they're just trying to create a handheld option that would partner up with the PS6. So there's been multiple documents. This is from Moore's Law, I think. And so this is a YouTube channel that has previously leaked accurate technical info on PlayStation consoles before, which is why I think it's getting some kind of eyebrows raised that there could be something to this. The idea is that it could play games natively at power exceeding that of the base PS5 when it's docked. So it would be a relatively powerful system that you could use.
That's incredible.
Which would be insane. So what do you guys think? You want another? We've talked about Sony. Give me another handheld. Is this what you would want? Something that's PS6 connected?
For me, if it's a peripheral, which maybe kind of sounds like it is, yeah, you could just buy it and be your solo thing. But like, I don't want my PS6 running off of handheld software or hardware or whatever.
Right.
I don't like. I know you're compromising power. You have to. Like, and what's the battery life on this thing gonna be? A PlayStation Portable that plays PlayStation 5 games? An hour? Like what? So like, and maybe in a few years, whenever we're down the line, like batteries are a little better. We figured something out, But like, as long as this is something I buy alongside my PlayStation 6, I'm absolutely all in. But I don't want it to. Like I wouldn't buy the version of it that it's just like the one thing that I have. It would just be a handheld thing for me.
I think the second I heard PlayStation 6 portable, I was like, this can't be real, because I think from a like consumer standpoint, people get really confused easily sometimes, right? So if you throw a 6 in there, so you have the PlayStation 6, right? And then you got PlayStation 6 portable. All these dummies are going to be like, well, what is like the different, like you're just going to end up confusing and annoying everybody.
Yeah.
So like you got to remove the 6, right? You got to remove the 6 and just like call it whatever. Cause the Vita, PlayStation Vita, that was a nice name. PSP rolls off the tongue. Like, so you think of something else, but yeah, if you throw a 6 in there also with the console, it's like, it's just going to annoy and confuse people. So
I agree, especially since it's supposed to be able to play these games natively. The way I thought about it too was if it really is tied to the next console, like somehow they're connected. I don't know what that would be, like, but somehow they are tied together. Then I guess you could make the argument that just adding the word portable on there with the PS6 and then the PS7 portable, and like every version now has a little portable console version that you can get with it. I'm like, okay, maybe, but it's not the same as having a true Sony handheld, like you mentioned, the Vita, or
right,
the PSP. Then it's just like a peripheral for the new console, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess my checkboxes that I would need is like I would want it to have its own UI. I just don't want the same like UI from the PS6 like it's just the same thing, Like I kind of want it to feel a little more separate than
Yeah.
it. Yes, play all the same games. Yes, do cloud saving. Yes, maybe have some kind of thing where it's like when I dock my PSP, my real PS6 just turns on. I don't know. Like I feel like I want them separate in some way, but also like when I need them to come together to come together. I just don't know if I need them to be like,
I
I
mean,
don't need it to be a switch. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
where unless the dock does some really heavy lifting on like upresing stuff, which even then like I want
Yeah.
native hardware. I don't want like super
Of
sampling and
course.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I know, and
I
I'm
think
again,
in this,
we're always talking about we don't need more graphics, so I know that's kind of maybe ironic that I'm saying that.
but I
or
mean,
whatever,
that's
but
just part of the thing, right? Like that just kind of comes with the territory of being the big
yeah.
guy, Sony and Xbox, right? They want the machines to be powerful because I mean,
What-
people do care about it,
Yeah, I mean, I guess a good parallel here is like a Steam Deck is that you plug in to your TV is not a great replacement for just having a PC. It's a cool thing, like I like the option or whatever, but like ultimately, like if I'm trying to play a PC game, like I need a PC to do that. And like I'm just glad
Yeah.
that the Steam Deck can plug into the TV. I'm glad it can go on the go, but like it's not a replacement for like high-end gaming,
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. I think and the Wii U wasn't the most successful thing in the world, right? But I think there is a way where Sony could do something similar. So you have like a controller like that where you can kind of have this interesting connectivity between the console and the games and having the screen there to do certain things. Like I think there is something that could work and giving it as an option as opposed to default, like because that's what the Wii U was, right? Like by default, you have to have that little control.
So it's like a peripheral that acts as a second
control.
screen, like experience.
Yeah. Because I still say Mario Maker was the best on that because like you were seeing the game and playing the game on the TV, but like doing all the work down here. Like I thought it was really cool. So.
One, I liked simple stuff like it just displays the map there, it just displays your inventory there. Like the Wii U had some
if you wanted to
ideas.
Do that,
yeah. If you want, like if you bought the peripheral and bought in and set up the setting to make it do that, it wouldn't be a bad option. It's cool. I like portable gaming. I do. But like I don't want it to be at the expense of real console gaming, real sit down at your nice TV and get the fidelity gaming.
Yeah, I mean obviously this is a rumor, but if Sony's going to make a handheld device, I've said this with the PS Portal, which I'm not saying it wasn't successful. It sounds like it sold really well. Yeah. But if they're going to make a handheld, I kind of want it to be like a Vita or a PSP. Like release your own unique games for it, support it as a second console. Yeah. Like that's what I'd prefer.
And I want the games to run native. I know that like good grief, I know because of the group from years ago, but like the Portal, it's buying and selling. Well, I never ever in a million years want a cloud game ever. Not even when it works brilliantly. It's never going to be perfect. It just won't be. I'm sorry.
Totally agree.
And you can convince yourself that it is. You convince yourself it's good enough. You could believe it even, and I'm fine with that. For me though, I never, ever want a cloud game, and I would never buy anything like the PlayStation Portal. And this would be a little more in my wheelhouse, as long as, again, like you're saying, Tim, you're keeping them somewhat separated as different kind of IP, but maybe kind of like what Dan is saying, they kind of act in tandem as a peripheral as well.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, and you could convince yourself of that, kind of like Atari convinced themselves that these IP from Ubisoft were worth their money. So here are some of the IP that they've acquired. Atari is trying to bring back some kind of dead IP, and so they acquired these 5. As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, what'd they get from Ubisoft?" And I saw the list, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay." So here's specifically the games that they're looking at. One's called Cold Fear.
All right,
I remember this game. This was a Resident Evil,
Okay, so this was from 2005. It's a PS2 game. So you guys remember? Do you guys remember I Am Alive?
I do remember I Am Alive.
Yeah.
I don't.
So there's some screenshots.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking survival adventure game.
Yeah, it's like an
Groundbreaking.
apocalypse goes off or something like that, and you're like navigating the city as like aftershocks of like earthquakes or like toppling buildings, and you're like meeting people who have missions for you.
Okay.
It's interesting. Good though.
Maybe. Okay. Well, Child of Eden looks super
Yeah.
trippy.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Connect
it's
game.
a res light. Yeah, well, yeah, but it had like a regular version where it just kind of played like res.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but yes, it was a Connect first game.
I mean, just like
very cool game.
psychedelic, trippy colors, craziness happening.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. And then my two favorite games of all time: Grow Home and Grow Up. I hate these
There we
games.
go.
I remember
Alright.
trying them both, and I was like, "These are so stupid." And you
I
know
know
what
I
bothers me
said
about them?
good things.
The Giant
Yeah.
Bomb guys wanted them for like legitimately, not like tongue in cheek, for Game of the Year in 2015,
Nope.
and I was just livid. I was like, you know, Bloodborne
was
and The Witcher 3 and even Rocket League. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I was just so mad about it.
I know I said some positive things about this grabs of games, but this is a really bad grab of games.
Yeah, interesting,
not
right?
great.
Like
See,
it's
Tim's fury grew, right? Because they were growing.
yeah, that's
up,
right.
But Tim
That's right.
grew in anger.
Man.
So.
So there you go. Atari. When that headline was a little bit, I don't know, it just felt kind of flat when it was all said and done.
That's something.
If I'm being
That's
honest
something.
with you. Yeah, it is something. Yeah. You mentioned this earlier. I thought I'd highlight it. The director on Dragon's Dogma 2, he says he didn't make a Nintendo game. Little shot at Nintendo, maybe, that was designed
know.
to be liked by everyone. He
Yeah.
says this is speaking
Sure.
to Video Games Chronicle in his first media interview since leaving Capcom. So Itsuno said he wasn't surprised the game didn't have universal appeal because he designed it that way.
Yeah.
And it actually matches up if you look at Metacritic score from critics, 86. It was like a Game of the Year contender for a lot of outlets.
Yeah.
Compared to user score average of 6.5, which
Wow.
which at the risk, and I know I'm the only one on this podcast. You guys love this game, and I love that
You're
you
also.
love it.
And
I am like
just to
a
be
6
hyperbolic,
out of 10 kind of a guy on this game. Like I tried it 4 times. And I was like, it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
You tried
That
it,
was
though.
the moment.
tried
That
it.
was the moment I knew I truly don't know what people like. I was just like, 'cause I was like, this is a Tim game. This is a Tim game.
You-
all day.
I know.
Tim's gonna love this game.
I actually
And,
felt
like,
guilty. You ever
you
feel
said that, and I
guilty
go,
about not liking
I'll-
it? Yeah, I
I'll
felt guilty.
never assume someone likes something ever again. Like I was
know.
so off on that.
I
Yeah.
It was the feel. It was something about the feel of it. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So I like this philosophy. I hate it when people say this though. Like
Right.
I like the philosophy. Like I just made a game for whoever's gonna like it is gonna like it.
Yeah.
I didn't make a mass appeal game, but like when you say it, it kind of just I don't know. There's something that irks me about it where I'm just like
It comes off
It's easy to-
pretentious, right?
it comes off pretentious, but it also comes off like you're walking back like, well, I wasn't successful because I wasn't trying to be. And it's like,
I
well,
know.
Sure.
I mean, we're all trying to be successful at the things that we're all
Yeah.
doing, you know.
Yep.
But I do enjoy the philosophy of that. I just don't know if you need to speak it out loud.
Agreed.
You know, I think that you could
Yeah.
just
Think it, don't say it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because earlier this summer we joked around about Kojima saying it, but there's a lot of differences there. One of them was that
Right.
Yeah.
he was saying this was before it came out. This wasn't him trying to go back and like say,
This isn't a
well, I
year
wasn't
later,
trying
yeah.
to make it that good. Like
Yeah.
he's not doing that. He was like, it's not challenging people enough. When we talked about this a
Yeah.
lot, like that's what he wanted. He wanted
Yeah.
it to like make people a little uncomfortable and challenge them a bit more, and all those kind of pieces that make him who he is. So his is pretentious in the right ways, if that makes any sense at all. Like
No,
it's
we
not,
talked about this exact
Sure.
thing where there's a right and a wrong way to be pretentious,
Yeah.
and there's the spectrum.
Yeah.
Kojima and I forget whatever Dragon's Dogma
it's
2.
like it's almost like a humility in how he's pretentious. I don't know how to say it, but when I
Yeah.
listen to him talk and hear his quotes, as soon as you get context and just see his face as he's
Yeah.
talking about it, you're like, but
He
this
always
guy
comes
isn't.
off as humble.
He's
you
not a
know,
pretentious dude. He's just an artist. That's all he is. He's just an artist,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
He's a misunderstood artist. You know?
Yeah, I think
It's
he's
like,
very
you guys
well
just- you
understood.
guys
I
just
think
don't-
he's doing fine.
guys don't
Everyone
get
loves
it.
him. Yeah. He is
He's
way more
struggling
mainstream
so
than
hard.
he's way more mainstream. I mean, he is literally the guest of honor at almost every mainstream games awards show that.
It's
can get
because
on
him and Jeff are secretly kissing on the side, you know? Like, you guys don't
Yeah.
get it. You don't understand their love.
I want Jeff to come out with his last name saying Jeff Kojima when he comes out at the next.
Yeah, yeah.
Award
That's what the
thing.
K always stood for.
That's what I always stand for. I will maintain that the team at Hello Games working on No Man's Sky might be the best ongoing support team for a game I've ever seen. Like they
Yeah.
just rolled out another
Sure.
update, a major one where you can do tons of stuff. I'll play the trailer for it here in a second. But the list includes a new ship class called the Corvette, which I haven't seen yet. You can now assemble ships to give you a lot more control over assembling your ships. Multiplayer crew, mission radar, autopilot in space, space walking. You can apparently even like dive
Oh,
outside of your spaceship down onto a planet. So I don't know how this all works. This is what I'm hearing. New
All right.
missions, starship interiors, new spacesuit. There you go, skydiving. There it is. Of course, graphical improvements, more variation to the cockpits. If you've been in any of the ships, they do start to look similar after a while. So they're adding more variations to that and a new expedition. So like basically tons of content. Here's the thing. People might hear that and be like, yeah, that sounds normal. No, it's not, because it's all free. It's always been free. If you own this game, you get all of this content that they're adding to it. And it's
yeah.
insane. It's insane, the stuff that they're
How
adding.
does this studio stay open? like,
I think they sell
are they
copies.
just selling
a
enough
lot.
copies of
I
this
think
game,
so.
like to stay afloat?
Like there's a Switch 2 port that I have read
Yeah.
amazing things about. I just bought
Yeah.
it because it just now went on sale along with a whole bunch of other games.
Oh, nice.
Is
So
it really on sale? I might
it's
actually
like
buy this on
23
Switch too.
bucks on Switch 2.
You can play this offline, right? Like you don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm buying this game, dude. Like, this is the
I
perfect
know
game
the
for
three
me,
of us
so.
liked Starfield, but this is like what I wanted Starfield to
I agree
be.
with you
Like I'm just
completely.
gonna,
Yeah.
you know, like
Of course,
I
where
wanted it
Starfield
to
shined
be
was the
this.
story and characters, and I loved those about it. But you're right.
Yeah.
Gameplay, space exploration wise, you're right. Like,
I mean, this looks great. Like, look at it. Like,
Yeah.
it does look
'cause
great.
I rebought it on PS5, and I was like, I'm gonna jump in. I haven't jumped in yet, but like I want to. I'm going to at some
And on
point. I don't know
PS4,
when,
PS5,
but-
Steam. Might as well buy it on Switch, right? Might as well.
It's on a- dude, I do
Might
own
as
it
well.
everywhere. I think I have it
Yeah,
everywhere.
I will after this.
Yeah, dude. So this update's called Voyagers, and what's cool too is they've been talking about their new game Light No Fire, and they've said that their updates like this one have really helped to guide the things they want to do in their next game called Light No Fire. And he used an example with Voyagers, saying that a lot of the technology they're introducing is shared with the next game, whether it's the way that they do on land or underwater exploration. And by the way, when they added the underwater stuff with No Man's Sky, I can confirm it's awesome. Like it's so fun.
Yeah,
There's so much
I've heard good
stuff. Like
things.
there's tons of creatures and plants, some of which are trying to kill you, some of which have great resources in them. You can build whole underwater bases. Like you could actually just find a great planet and just live underwater and have plenty to do to fill your time if you want. Or if you're a big planet
pretty
hopper
cool.
and just like to kind of go, and that's fine. You can do that too. Like, dude, this game that came out in 2016, we're talking about 9 years ago.
Yeah.
To me, it's one of the most impressive games coming out. And when it came out in 2016, it was my most disappointing game just because it was fun, but it didn't quite do enough. And it was like, yeah, it's a little glitchy. And I remember having fun, but ultimately being like, it didn't live up to the promise. If I had only known that they weren't gonna do what most teams do, and that is move on to the next project and kind of like, this is what it is.
Well, and it's
They
not like,
crushed it.
and like originally maybe it felt like it didn't feel like a full game, but like 2 updates in, it did.
You're right. It didn't take
And
too
they're
long.
just and they're just continue to add more. Like this game was a full game 8 years ago or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, and it's just so crazy
Yeah.
that they keep on adding more and more and more for free.
And it's not a big
and-
team
and-
either.
And it's
Like,
not,
they're
and it's not
huge.
like they're still building up to being a full game. It's been a full game for a long time. They're
That's
just
right.
adding.
Yeah.
Like there's just, it's an insane amount of stuff. Like you could never go to an underwater thing if you didn't want to, I imagine, and only stay in space and only, you know, like I just feel like there's so many lanes to go in this game. And I hate that you
Yeah.
told me that it's on sale. So thank you.
Sorry, not sorry. If you guys had to guess without looking it up, how many major named, because they always name their updates,
Yeah.
which makes it really fun too. It feels like you're getting a new episode, and they like, they usually
Yeah.
have like some technology, but don't look it up. How many named major
10.
updates do you think this has had in 9 years?
10.
8.
Okay, you guys are both way off, and I would have been off too. I probably would have said maybe 12.
Is it 2 a year?
This will be their 39th.
39th? So So it's like that's
Wow,
like 3 or
okay.
4 a year. That's like every 4 months they come out with a huge update.
It's crazy.
That's
Jesus.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
that's great. Yeah.
So anyway, I jumped back in hardcore when they released the Worlds Apart updates. They did part 1 and part 2, and they were both amazing. So much stuff. And I still feel like I barely scratched the surface because I never did revisit all the different updates that are there. So my
Is it like super
problem,
streamlined now? Like, is
it's
it like if
very
you start,
streamlined. You
you're
can
like, oh,
actually you
you're
can
just
pick
like,
your path, right? You can pick a more streamlined experience, or you can pick, like, I think they call it abandoned, where it's going to be just you. Like, you're not going to see anybody. You're going to be
yeah,
alone if you really want that. And then I do think they have more streamlined approaches to it as well. So there's, like, as you
cool.
start the game, it looks different now too. Like, you pick how you want your experience to be.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, I really like that. And I think there's even ways where it can be like, hey, we're going to make your crafting requirements way lower. Like, you can make it really easy on yourself if you just want to experience it, and you don't need the survival challenge that will take a dozen hours just to get your first ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember
Um,
it in the
Yeah.
original. It took hours just to get off like planet, and then like it was this big. But that it also kind of became this like, oh, it felt good. Like, oh, well, I'm
Yeah.
off planet now.
Yeah. But there's
And it
things
just
that I forgot you could make a whole game just out of the concept of you're exploring space, going to planets, finding crashed spaceships, fixing them up just enough to get them to a space station, then selling them for parts or trading them with other travelers to upgrade to another ship.
Yeah.
Like, you can literally run your own, essentially, like, without setting up a lot, like your own spaceship business where you're just making money on
That's so
salvaging
cool.
spaceships. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what you can do.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So No Man's Sky, I'll be honest, I am a major fan. I went from being like, hey, I kind of was an apologist for that game, but ultimately I was disappointed by it, to now I'm like, no team does what Hello Games does.
now.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
pretty
there's-
crazy.
And they did it mostly silently. They just
Yeah.
like worked. You know?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, it's for the best considering what the heat that they took, you know.
Well,
in
you
the
can see
beginning, so.
that they've learned their lesson because like we've seen 1-2 trailers for their new game. He's maybe
Yeah.
talked about it
I think just
publicly
the one, right?
once. You know, I like
Yeah.
it's just like he's not doing the same thing again.
Yeah, so this time it's going to be one large planet. They're saying, here's how he describes
Yeah.
it. It's a truly open world, shared Earth-sized planet. So we're talking about, like, they're trying to make it, think of the size of our planet, and the size of your
I was
character is going to be like us.
Yeah, I was reading that like to even
ahead.
get across like big oceans and stuff like that, like you had to like get a whole crew together to
Yeah.
get on a ship, and like
big old boat.
everybody has a job to get you over like
Oof.
on the new continent.
Yeah.
Like it just so it seems like
Nice.
it's going to be this like cool communal experience that like you could probably get by without even like communicating with people. You're just kind of
Yep.
doing actions together, you know?
Yep. So a lot of the stuff they've done with No Man's Sky to make those experiences as fun as possible, which I think they have been learning along the way too. So it gives me a lot of hope for Light No Fire. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I also don't think it's going to be like, oh, it's just another No Man's Sky, because it's just on one planet. The idea is not
Yeah.
to fly out into space and planet hop at all. You're just exploring on land and underwater. And like you just said, I think there's more of an emphasis on the communal piece, where with No Man's Sky, it took a while for them to really make that a big part of the
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Like I'm wondering if like people are going to collect in certain areas and like those become towns. Like,
cities?
I'm like
Yeah.
like you
Well-
you walk somewhere and you're like, wow, everyone chose this spot to like live, you know,
And
like so I can
can
either
it be
live.
a thing where you can just play in a blank slate and you don't, because you want to see it fresh,
Yeah.
or do you have to share it? I'm curious about that piece too.
It's like taking, I mean, because they made a whole ass universe in
Yeah.
No Man's Sky, like
Yeah, they did.
procedurally
Yeah.
generated a whole universe.
Yeah.
But it's like taking all those layers and just like freaking condensing it down into
Yeah.
one place, but like still having all the layers. So
Yeah.
that's kind of wild because it's just a
Yeah.
different type of thing, but still a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Totally agree.
it just seems really interesting. So
Totally agree. There's still so much about No Man's Sky that's a mystery to me. There's features that I haven't even explored. There's like weird items that I have found, eggs or whatever, that I'm like, I don't know what this is for. I think you get pets. I don't know. I don't know all the different things that you can do. I have
Yeah.
no idea.
fry it, you know?
I assume you can fly it like Falcor from Neverending Story. That's what I assume you can
Yeah.
probably do.
Mm.
Because that's all I really want to do.
Makes
You know, I just want my own Falcor.
Yeah.
So
Never
Yeah,
ending
for sure.
story.
Yeah.
Guys, we don't have enough Neverending Story references in our podcast. I realize
It's true. Yeah. There's a whole generation out there not being traumatized by a never ending story, and it shows.
You mean like the weird
I think we need
animatronic
to
wolf called the
remake.
Nothing? Yeah, that guy.
Mostly the horse scene, but yeah.
Artax.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Yeah.
Followed by a weird turtle that kept sneezing on him. Yeah, that was just a lot of emotions.
No, yeah. This movie brought to you by 80s drugs. So,
Totally. And I still love it. But
Pretty
me
common.
too.
Then,
I
right?
love it. I think it's great.
I love at the end how he flies Falcor into the real world and like just destroys those bullies in the alleyway.
Yeah, like he uses a magical dragon to like get back at bullies. Like, how petty are you, kid? You're our hero.
And I cheered. I stood up and cheered. Love it.
So
All right.
brave.
Hey, speaking of game updates, I know Kyle for sure is familiar with this bad boy. This is just the main game trailer for Schedule 1.
Yes, the
Yeah.
cartel update or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so they got this new update called, I think it's just called the Cartel. Oh, called Cartel Wars, Rival Cartel Wars. And it introduces competition in the form of Highland Point's Benzies family, as well as a new property to purchase, new vehicle, and more being added to this super wholesome business simulator.
It's so good. This game is so great.
Yeah, so speaking of Sims, I mean, this is one. Like, yeah, it's crazy. And
It's
the art
definitely
style's
one of them.
hilarious, too.
It is, yeah. And it's funny because he was like, the creator was like, I'm just not good at art, and so that's just what it looks like. And I was just always supposed to be a placeholder. I was going to hire an artist to come in and like do it, but I guess y'all like it, so we'll just keep
Just gonna
it.
leave
And,
it. I did not
like,
know
some
that.
guy who
That's
has
like-
no
because it's
idea what he's
uniqueness.
doing. Yeah, it's they're very expressive, like their faces. So
That is so funny.
it's very cool.
Anyway, so yeah, there's some updates to some really addicting, really fun, and unique games. No Man's Sky, as well as Schedule 1. That probably one of the bigger surprise out of nowhere hits of the year, just in terms of people playing it. I know Schedule 1 is
Schedule
massively
1 in that card
successful.
shop game, or like seems like the
Yeah,
to be the ones that
massively
people
successful.
gravitated
for sure.
towards.
Last but not least, I know that we all here are major fans of the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 game, and Mr. Matty Plays, popular
All right.
YouTuber, was able to interview the director from Claire Obscure, and he did say, because they were asking, what's next? And number one, I love that they're not like blowing their team up and like we're hiring 80
Yeah.
100 and more people and we're going to have to fire all them when our next game is a disappointment or whatever. Like,
Right. We took a major deal from a great publisher.
yeah, they're not doing that.
Yeah.
They like their team size. They feel like this is what they need in order to create something great. And so they said that Claire Obscure is the franchise name. Expedition 33 is one of the stories we want to tell in this franchise. Exactly what it will look like and what the concept will be is too soon to announce. But be sure that this is not the end of the Claire Obscure franchise. So I think that's awesome.
The immediate thought is, please don't make it a prequel, because we already know how it ends, right? Like,
So
yeah.
this is my, and like we can't talk about it because it'll spoil the game, but like I don't think it'll have anything to do with this. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a whole universe out there, and this is one.
yeah,
How do I say this without
I
spoiling?
know.
This is one.
We need to do a
painting,
spoiler cast so
you know
we
what
can
I
make
mean?
our part of that can be making predictions.
Right.
about
So I think that you
there
could
are
do
other
a
things
good-
going on.
other things going on.
Yeah, there are other things going on
There
that they
are,
allude to that you could either explore or again, like not at all. You could go after a different family with a similar
Totally.
power, like you could change the genre, you could do like this game could be completely unrecognizable as a sequel and it still fit in that thing because they kind of created this really unique concept.
Yep.
That they can play around with. So
They do face a challenge of like, because their storytelling was so compelling and the twists and turns along the way were part of what made it such a thrilling experience. But ultimately at the core, it was characters, writing, performances, music that
Right.
carried the day. So I have no doubts they'll be able
they
to
set the
deliver on
bar
those
very
fronts.
high for themselves.
They sure did.
I will say.
But even if they don't have a story that has plot twists and shocking, like, oh my word, that's what's going on, they don't need that for it to be excellent. So I hope they don't try it, and I don't think they will, but you don't want developers to try to catch lightning in a bottle twice. Like, just make it
Yeah,
super
right.
high quality.
Make a new thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, just make it really good.
hopefully it lands the way that it lands,
Yeah. My expectations are totally ridiculous on what the next thing would be. Like, they're
Yeah.
it's bad. It's bad how much I'm already like, yeah, this is going to be the next 100 out of 100 game. It's going to be perfect.
Yeah, right.
And I can't help myself because
I'm sure a lot of people are thinking that way.
The first
I
one
think
was
so. Yeah,
nearly perfect.
that's the the double-edged sword of success. Is that like now there's expectations lobbed on you unfairly
Yeah.
by me too, by all of us.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
all
guilty of it
we're all
completely.
assuming they're about to make the next best thing ever, and
Hmm.
if they don't, we burn their building to the ground or
Totally.
whatever,
Absolutely.
however we
Yeah.
react
Yeah.
in
I
today's
think
day and age.
the not safer, but the maybe in some ways the smarter thing to do would be to just do something totally different, like Dan has said. Please just do something else. Like,
Mhm.
show me what else you can do. I want to see what
Yeah.
else you can do. It almost feels riskier to try to revisit this with how specific all the details were of this world. I
Mhm.
don't know. I'm
Yeah.
very
I
curious to
do think
see
they should
what
do
happens.
something in between.
Oh yeah,
They should definitely. That's just how I feel. I think that they should
they could.
definitely like flex their muscles there and do a different whatever,
Yeah,
and then like circle back around.
yeah,
Yeah, but if this is what they
To
want
this
to do,
world.
I'm very pro that.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want them to just do a new thing because like it's what I want. Like I want them
Right,
to do the thing that
right.
they want to do. And if they
that's
have an
so
idea,
true.
like I don't want to project my like
Hmm.
I don't know what works and what doesn't work. Tim doesn't like
Yeah,
Dragon's
yeah.
Dogma 2. Like I don't know anything. So I can't
Up
be
is
sure about
down, down
anything.
is up.
I'm shook and shaken. I can't. No, but so I
Shooketh.
want them if they have an idea, like I want them to do that. I'm
Yeah.
pro like developer choice,
Yeah, because a lot of
and
times you'll see like a publisher will force the sequel or whatever, and it doesn't have the
yeah,
heart anymore because that's not what the creator wanted to
absolutely.
do.
And,
Yeah,
and I don't want that to be the case either, where it's like even though they don't have a big publisher over them, like probably someone's being like, "Hey, you should
make another
franchise
one,
this."
make another
Someone's
one, make
saying this
another
in
one.
their
Yeah,
ear, and I hope that that's not like
Well,
influencing them to do that. I hope they're
they
doing it
are
because they
making
want
the
to do it.
show. So that's also
for the
why
movie
in
or
my
Oh
the
yeah,
head I'm like
show.
kind of like it is a good idea to maybe it would be a good idea to jump into something fresh and new because they're also because then it's just going to be oversaturation to some people
Yeah,
like oh
hmm
you got a show
yeah.
too and then you already got the second game in this
We'll
universe
see if
but
that show,
you
the
know
way that Hollywood works right now, that show may not
oh
ever
yeah
happen. But like,
yeah,
yeah
we'll see. Everyone's jumping on the success of something in a really big way, and well, they
oh
may
for
not
sure
even sell the rights. What they pull out,
right.
what they're like, we don't want to do the show anymore. So
Yeah.
I
for
don't know.
sure
We'll
Selfishly,
see.
I want them to make it just because my wife's not a gamer. I'll never be able to convince
Yeah.
her to play it, but I know she's such an avid book reader, loves a good series, and
Mm,
this feels like a book series. Like it just does. It
yeah
feels like a really
Yeah,
high
it does.
quality book series. That's why my daughter played it. She's actually not a huge gamer either. She play like lightweight, cozy stuff. She played this whole game all the way through and
Yeah,
was
that's
like
awesome.
bawling
pretty
her eyes
awesome
out at the end. You know what I
yeah
mean? Like she
Yep.
loved it. And
yeah
so I'm just
yeah
like, man, I think my wife would love this. And so that's one reason why sometimes when I hear there might be a movie or a show version of this, either one, I'm like,
hmm
I hope they do it well so I can be like,
I do
Kate,
too.
come watch this.
yeah
I want to share it with other people who aren't gamers. Like Last of Us to some effect. I know that show's kind of falling apart for a lot of people, but like that first season, it was exciting to be like, hey, this is like a really big moment in gaming. And I got to
Yeah.
show that first season to a lot of non-gamers, and they're like, "Whoa, that was incredible!" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah we played this
so,
Yeah.
and that doesn't always happen. Like I guess Fallout might be another thing where you could pitch Fallout, but like it's just you don't have a lot of examples of this. So yeah,
Hmm.
it would be cool to like get some of these stories out into other mediums,
Yeah.
so other people could enjoy them.
Yep. I did see, and this is usually not a good sign when people who are on a show start saying to fans who are disliking what you're making, and they start saying, "Well,
oh
then just go back to play the game. Then if you don't like this, it's like, oh my gosh, it's never a good. Whenever
Yeah,
you get some sass from the actors, the creators, the writers, anybody to the
sure.
fan base, and maybe the fan base is wrong. Maybe they're being overly
yeah,
critical. That's fair, but to tell them like, you always have the game, just go play the game. You always have old Star Wars movies. If you don't like our new Star Wars, it's just like, dude, I understand where you're coming from. You're feeling defensive. I get it. You love the thing you're making, but that, in my opinion, is usually a sign of like it's not doing well. As soon as you
yeah.
in my
Well I
opinion.
think
I can't
from
imagine
Bella
the amount of
what's her
comments
name
that
Bella
those people see that like are so horrible and so
I
awful that
know.
like you
yeah
know maybe
Mhm.
biting back a little bit is probably not the worst thing in the world either. You got to defend
Maybe.
yourself a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. But then again, think about who it's against. People who are already so venomous and you could say toxic. It's like, what do you think's gonna happen if you like? I don't know. I usually encourage
Oh, you're
people when
asking for more. Yeah.
I know, that's what
You're
I'm
asking
saying.
for
I
more.
usually
Like, when
say,
you're
as
when you're like,
painful as it is, and as much as I'm not always good at this, you usually got to just disengage, and
yeah,
eventually they'll be quiet. Eventually, I know it might take a while,
I'm
but
pro disengaging for
yeah,
sure. But I also can
yeah,
understand
I do
like
too.
being
I get the
tired
human part of
of
it
like,
totally,
yeah,
totally.
being tired of getting buried
I
online
know.
by everybody, which like like
Yeah,
that's
because
it's a
it's not
lot.
even
It's a
just
lot for
about
a
her
kid. A girl
performance.
who's like 20 years old,
I
like
know.
it's
She's just
it's
doing what was
Yeah.
probably
written for her character.
she's
She's
not,
not.
and also she's
Yeah.
not a fully formed adult, like her brain's not fully
That's a
formed
good
yet and
point.
stuff like that. So it's like
No,
it
it's
must
a
be a
bummer.
lot. I really hope
But
that these
again,
Harry
yeah.
Potter kids like have like
Oh,
protection.
jeez.
You know what I mean? Like against like
You can't win.
the
The
world.
shots that have come out so far look like it's exactly like the movie, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're just making it shot for shot." It's like, dude, if you change it too much, everyone's angry. If you make the exact same
Yeah,
thing, everyone's angry. Like,
yeah.
oof,
Oh, there's no winning on
you
this
just
one.
can't win. You just can't
And I
win.
hope those kids like don't go online. I hope they're like banned or something. I don't know if their parents are protecting them in some way.
Like, for example,
I
I
don't know.
do have opinions on some of the recent Star Wars and Marvel shows. I've shared them here and there, but I don't want to be an overly negative person, so I'm okay with it not being like my favorite thing anymore. And the same with Last of Us season 2. I actually didn't really enjoy it as much as I really wanted to, but that doesn't mean I hate on it or think the actors are evil or I don't know. And I
Right.
think it's okay.
I thought it was a step down from. I thought it was a
I
step down
loved
from
the
season
first
one.
season. I really loved
Yeah,
what they did, but
yeah.
second
I
season
like
didn't.
the second season, but
Yeah.
I think that it was rushed, and I think that there was some interesting, and I mean that in a negative way, choices.
Yeah. There were some things
I
that were
don't.
distracting that I was like, get back to the main thing. Even if it's a new version, like get back to, anyway, it's fine.
Yeah, and
It's fine.
again, some things I did fine, but like I don't know, I don't
Yeah.
have like such a huge feel about it where I'm going online and like screaming at people. So
But
Do you guys
again,
know why
it's
you
not
didn't
even
hear me
just
screaming about
about
it? It's because my opinion doesn't
yeah,
matter that much. I'm just a
my
consumer,
yeah,
So
mine either. I don't even
yeah,
feel like I have a really good opinion about it, to be
yeah.
honest.
Same.
I
What
just
were you gonna say,
my
Tim?
opinion is I liked it a little less than the first. I liked it less than the first
Me
season.
too.
That's like my take.
yeah, but it's not even about like the quality of the season or the acting or anything specifically with her. It's like people literally destroying her because of how she looks, like, and
Yeah,
also
it's really true.
the non-binary thing, right? So
Yeah.
I see
Yeah,
a lot of it about those two things, those
Yeah,
two
people start
elements. So
swinging
like,
low. When they're upset, they just start
yeah.
swinging low.
oh
I
yeah,
think it's the
oh yeah,
intelligence
And gamers
struggle.
specifically are they were a bullied and oppressed people who just can't wait to
mm,
bully and oppress back. They are pretty
sure,
weird,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
hurt people hurt, guys. Whatever the saying is.
I think it's one of those things where it's like you feel attacked as a fan of a thing, and so
Yep,
you want to strike back in a way that you think will do the most damage. So you swing low
yep,
and you go personal, and you're not
yeah,
like because if she weren't in this show, no one would have gone after her after this stuff. At least not to this degree, not from this audience. They wouldn't have cared.
true.
But because she's
Yeah,
in a thing they like and they don't like what's happening in the thing they like, now they're like, all
yeah,
right, let's get personal. So like
but she was in
it's
Game of Thrones, right? And people liked her in that,
yeah.
right?
yeah.
Like,
It's fandom's fair weather. Like today's
yeah,
love is tomorrow's hate.
Yes,
So
but she
it's
was in
just
Game of Thrones as a character that none of us knew. That character wasn't in the books, and if she was,
That's
okay,
a
it
good
wouldn't be a
point.
sure,
problem.
sure,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. It's a
yeah, yeah.
character that no one knew.
And it was like,
So
whoa, this girl's got some sass. She's got this little powerhouse actress. Holy cow, this
yeah,
girl's crazy. As opposed to, that's not my Ellie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so it's
right.
Sure,
Oh, and Joel got it too. That's not my
yeah,
Joel.
not
Like
my Joel.
like there's just you're gonna spark reactions whenever you make a thing.
Yep.
It's just it's when you adapt a book, when you adapt a video game, when you adapt anything. People are just gonna have thoughts about it,
I
and
know.
like all you can do is just have your own thoughts and move on.
I'll
Like
say it
that's it.
again. This is why I like our podcast, but I do sometimes try not to speak up too much about things that I'm not liking. I don't be too critical because it's hard to actually have fun, interesting, helpful, whatever, critical conversations without being like, oh, so you're one of the people who is now racist. Like, what? No, I just didn't like the writing. Like, what happened? It's because of the overwhelming negativity that comes from these venomous fan
mm,
bases turns into a hateful, bigoted, whatever type of mindset. And I'm like, okay, so I can't even criticize the show now without being lumped into that, or the game. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
if I mean, that swings both ways too. If you like something, you're woke,
then you're woke,
or
exactly,
you know
which
what I
is
mean. Like
so
it's
stupid.
which is not even the
you
appropriate
can't
usage
like
of the term.
something and you can't hate something without being
Yeah.
labeled something.
Yeah.
My philosophy is that there's so much, and like maybe this is toxic positivity I always get
Let's
thrown my
do
way,
it.
but
Let's get
like
toxically positive.
yeah, like there's enough stuff that you like to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Like talk about that.
Yeah.
I
Totally.
don't, I don't really get a lot out of like, I don't know, hating on something. Like it doesn't really do much to me. Like outside of a fleeting, like it's not for me. I didn't like it. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. I'd rather talk about something and spend time about stuff
A
I
very
like.
big human flaw. Very big human flaw.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just
Yeah. It's one of the reasons why
of
you heard
anger and
me
hate.
gushing about the first season of Witcher, and I didn't really talk much about the second season because I didn't like it quite as much, but I still enjoyed it. But I don't need to spend any time bashing it. I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe all of us are wrong. Maybe we should be more
No,
hateful.
I'm not. I'm never wrong. So.
No, that's fair.
Right, yeah. No. This is the most objectively correct podcast in the entire universe. So
True.
Yeah, it is.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yep. Correct.
It's okay
Gen.
to like stuff, guys. You're
Correct
okay.
Gen podcast. That's what
You
we are.
can go out there and love stuff. It's
currently
easy.
correct.
Currently correct. Always. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. Is there anything that you are currently playing that you want to give a shout out to? And while you think about maybe if there's one or two things you want to highlight, I'll just highlight one and then I'll throw it to both of you. I don't think I talked about it much yet. Playing Discounty. It's a very cute little business game, little adventure, kind of running your own little business game. It is pretty short from what I've read. I think the reviews came back in the mid 70s to somewhere in the maybe high 70s for some. Because it's not super sandboxy in terms of like, hey, you can just keep running this business forever and never. It's like very linear, but it's still fun to like get your next item, set up your little shelves, upgrade the store. It gets bigger over time. You can make different trade deals, but again, it's pretty linear. I think there's gonna be some choices and avenues you can choose to make, but it is not like we just talked about Stardew Valley, where you pick and choose like how you wanna shape your whole farm and your whole business and all that. It's not that open. It's a little more guided and small, but it's very charming. I love the art style. Music's super cute, and I think it's super fun. So I do recommend it, especially if you can get it on sale. I like it. So yeah, Discounty is a good time. So anything else you guys are playing that we haven't already talked about?
It's just been all new stuff for me. All the stuff we already talked about.
New games.
It's all new. Nothing old. You're not allowed to play old stuff.
Opposite of 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, we swung the other way. Just a little bit more of Death Stranding. That game is awesome. So the cutscenes are pretty. I just did a cutscene where some character did some really cool acrobatic stuff. It was fucking sick. Kyle, I'm sure you know what scene I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like the first time it happens, like.
Yeah, with tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was just like, that's just looks so cool. It just looks so cool.
Because it's not just like a cool action sequence; it's a unique one with like interesting powers on display, and it's very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, just a lot of cool imagery going on, and pretty cool game.
What did you think about that first time you went into the area where Not Crawled Snake is?
Oh
like
my God.
The visual.
Yes.
Not
Snake.
I don't think you were on that podcast, but I was like, there was like maybe 3 or 4 times in my entire life I saw something I was just like, oh my God. Like, just the graphics and the particles.
You mean like right when it opens up, you mean?
The whole area, really, like with the fireworks and the streamers with the, like that whole area is just like a visual piece. So
Renee was sitting beside me when that scene happened, and I legit I sat there just looking, and she like looked over. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Look at this! Like, look what's happening right now! Like, look at the way the fireworks are spinning and the reflection on the this is real life. Like, this literally, like, if you just showed any regular person or even gamer, I feel like it looked insane, Kyle. It was absolutely insane. I literally stared at it for like almost 5 minutes. I didn't leave that spot for almost 5 minutes.
Probably been since like Control that I was like so like flabbergasted by like visuals. You know? Yeah.
Like it was. Yeah. I'm glad because I wanted to make sure to mention that. So thank you for reminding me. Because that
you're the only person I've been able to talk to about this scene with so far. I'm just like I saw this thing and it's like, I don't know, man. It was like fireworks everywhere, and
It's fireworks in my heart and my soul. It's like, it's just, yeah, no, like legit one of, like, I would say top 5 most beautiful shots I've seen in my entire life in video games.
well, and then
Like,
it
I'm
leads to
not
that
even
scene where like
exaggerating.
all the candles like light, like they like cascade
Yes,
light like up
yes,
to like
yeah,
the team of
yep.
enforcers or whatever. I
And
don't
they're
know,
all
man.
posing and like it's just
So extra.
Cinema.
It was so
Absolute
cinematic.
cinema.
absolute cinema.
Scorsese was going somewhere like just nodding silently in a theater. Like, here it is.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
by the
what
way,
I'm talking
speaking
about.
of cinema, real quick, one last quick recommendation. If you guys like silly little YouTube channels, you ever watched Carbot animations? They're really funny. They've done a lot of funny
No.
Elden Ring ones over the years. So I tried Elden Ring, and it's just a hilarious little cartoon of a guy opening the door and all excited, like and then of course he just gets his body
I
destroyed.
think I have seen this. I
So
think
that
I've
one's
seen
really
these, yeah.
that's the one from a few years back that really kind of took off.
Oh,
and they've
okay.
made it.
Yeah, this looks familiar.
They've made a few about Clear Obscure that are so
fun.
funny
Okay.
and really well done. So, but they're spoilery, so don't watch them if any of you listening haven't
Yeah.
played it. But for you two, I know you guys would enjoy it because they're just little like 4 or 5 minute videos.
Yeah.
But they say things like cinema or this game is so tight. Like it's just like silly little stuff. It's just really funny.
I feel like I've definitely seen like 1 or 2 of their things.
Yeah, they're very funny.
But yeah, the only thing that I want to mention, the different or new that I watched while I was working the other day, and I think Jeff actually maybe brought it up in the chat a while back because it's been out for a little bit, is the Conan O'Brien Mark Twain Prize, like award ceremony thing on Netflix. Dude, so good. Like so many big names popping up in there. I mean, Bill Burr's in there, John Mulaney's in there. Just so many good speeches, really heartfelt stuff too. Like, because Conan, like specifically because Mulaney's the first one, and like because I watched a bit of Conan like before he was on TBS, like, and before the whole Jay Leno thing. So like before that,
the late
was when
show,
I was
whatever
watching
his later one was.
Yeah. So I remember like watching that stuff, and it's just like, this is so weird. But I wasn't a late night guy. Like I didn't watch that type of stuff. I didn't watch Leno or what's the other one?
Letterman.
The one that he replaced. Yes, thank you, Letterman. I never watched any of that stuff, so I remember like he was the first one. And I was just like, this is unbelievably hilarious.
Yeah.
So like I grew up a little bit with that.
Yep.
And like Mulaney's speech, like when he starts out, he's like, being a Conan O'Brien fan is like one of the most exhausting, like stressful things on the planet. Like and I was just like, yeah, you're right, dude, because this guy, Conan O'Brien was just going through, it was kind of like The Office or Parks and Rec, where it was like, are we going to get canceled? Are we not going to get canceled? Like, what's going to happen?
Emotionally
So like
draining.
it was, emotionally drained. I think that's actually what he says.
And back then we didn't know that there was going to be a future of anyone can create content and you can go follow it. Like we didn't know that was going to be a thing. So we were like, if he's canceled, we'll never see him again. Like that's kind of how we saw things back in the day.
But yeah, it was just really, it was. I mean, I think I've only seen one of those, the Mark Twain. I can't forget who it was.
Was there a
that
Jon
they gave the
Stewart one?
awards.
I think I saw Jon Stewart, which was really good. At least part of it.
I don't think that
or
was
Dave
the one
Chappelle.
I saw. I can't remember.
Anyway,
Oh,
I do
Chappelle.
know.
Yes, the Chappelle one.
I do know I need to watch that whole thing. I've only seen clips, and it looks great. A lot of comedians that I love. So I need to check that out. Also, if you haven't watched the Conan Must Go show, if you have HBO, go check it out. Very wholesome, very funny. If you like Conan's style of humor, really, really funny stuff. Conan Must Go is great.
Well deserved, for sure. Well deserved. I mean, I've not watched any of the other late night guys, but like Conan is a hilarious dude. So
I love him. Yeah.
Definitely deserves the
and he's also got
prize.
his whole like Conan Needs a Friend show. He's got his whole
podcast.
crew. Like they're all their own characters. That's, I don't know. It's very entertaining to watch that too. I love Matt and Sona. I love that whole crew over there. But anyway. All right. Thank you guys for watching and listening. And we'll talk to you on the next one as we head into the month of September. No more games coming out this year, so we're good. So
actually, they're actually all done.
Yeah, we're done. This was it. So hope you enjoy. Just go play No Man's Sky. Nothing else coming out this week. You're good.
What I'm gonna
just
do.
you could just only play that.
Yeah.
And be okay.
True.
You could.
If you're listening to this on Labor Day, enjoy your day off. Hope you get a chance to rest, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.